wanna train the very best. There's no better team. I will battle every day. It's always been our dream. Pokémon!
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the D-Pad. I'm Rick, and this is Pokemon the Very Best. We have returned once more to this horrific quest. However, before we get started, we've got about a minute and a half before our timer catches up. We have a question to have for today's stream, which is, what starter should I use for some generation in generational trauma, but which gen it will be decided by the wheel. So let's see which gen we're going to be discussing the starter for tonight. Which one's it going to be? Oh, whoa! Just barely Gen 4. All right, well, there we go. So I'm going to change this in one moment here. Let's fix this up. There we go. What are the Gen 4 starters? Turtwig, Chimchar, Piplup. And there we go. All right, and in 7 seconds we'll be back to it. Because our official time is 1:42:08. And there it is. And we're off once again to train poor little Strats here. Well, that was quick. To train Strats here to level 100. The only way we know how. I gotta remember too for the there we go. And there we go. Oh, we got over 100 fights per hour for our average, including last time. Fantastic. So the way to vote in this particular poll is to spend those D points that have been accruing and doing absolutely nothing forever. Oh, were you not here for the first one, Nano? This is a challenge, a very stupid challenge, because now the hard part is the most risky part is over. But we are raising Strats here to level 100. We want to get the top percent Rattata, and the only way to do that is to get to the top percent of levels to ensure it. So we are so we're gonna do that. Let's see, 1,000 for Chimchar. Excellent, thank you so much. Excuse me. Oh, that still says TG poll. I meant to change that to a GT poll for generational trauma. So to explain, Nano, so this is sort of a two-part thing. The first being, we're here to train Strats to level 100. Also, I actually have this time. I made a shirt based off of Arrow Artworks' design of my character in the thumbnail, inspired by the Youngster Joey outfit from Gen, like, I don't know, 6 or 7 or whatever. C-Dude throws 1,000 in for Piplup. There we go. Thank you very much. What was I going to say? So I made a shirt inspired by that design. I spent a little while kind of redrawing what he put onto my shirt for the thumbnails. Excuse me. And I thought it'd be appropriate. This, I couldn't get this shirt for like a good, I don't know, might have been more months after I tried to get this thing initially. This I made and tried to get in time for the first stream a year ago. Oh, and another 1,000, this time to Turtwig. All right. The lots have been cast. Excellent, excellent. So thing 1 is we're raising strats to level 100. Thing 2, and also if I get embarrassed by my hair, I'm going to put on a hat. It'll be very in line with the usual Pokemon trainer type situation. The other half of this, level 16. Yeah. Excellent. The other big thing, I don't know if those stats are going to be accurate, by the way. I'm pretty sure that they will be accurate after a level up, because I did kind of get like the EVs and stuff in there, or the IVs worked into there, but they don't get properly worked in necessarily until the level ups. So it should be good now, but so the second part of this is itself a precursor to a different Pokemon streaming project called Generational Trauma, where I am going to be doing a full franchise, essentially a franchise play genlock of the core titles of the series, minus Pokemon Legends. I'm not going to pretend to know how DVs work. So, DVs and IVs, if I recall correctly, are like close. They're similar in how they work. EVs and I'm trying to remember what they call it. I think they call it like battle experience or something, are a little bit further apart. Actually, not a little. They're very different. DVs and IVs, if I recall correctly, are almost the same. They're very, very similar. Also, the PokéLink thing that I'm using here to wire into the game has changed. Like, they've updated it a few times, and I think they have better Gen 1 support than they did before, but I haven't had time to look into that, and I know that this situation that I've got over there works. So, okay, as a cry for help, blink twice. So this is inspired by, I want to say Cybershell was the one who made the video on it. Was it Circle Wizard? I swear I was going to remember this, but it was a year ago. There was, I would go watch Cybershell's video. I'm going to explain it very poorly right now. But essentially, there was someone who stated that they were going to get Cloud and Barrett to level 99 in the first screen of the first reactor of Final Fantasy VII. And they started off strong, and then they got about, I don't know, two-thirds of the the levels in, and then they just kind of fell off of it, so someone else wound up stepping up and going like, fuck it, I'll do it. And they did. And hell yeah. Actually, you know what? I know exactly how I can find the correct answer to this. Circle Master, who commented on the first stream of this 11 months ago, saying, I wish I was a wizard, because fuck me, I made the exact same mistake last year. That's kind of incredible. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Circle Master. I promise I will get it right. But so, in preparation for... Sorry, I've got like so many windows open to make this work. In order to prepare for Generational Trauma, so the idea there is it's going to be a full, like I mentioned, a full franchise play genlock. And I've got the broader mechanics of it sorted out. I think one thing that I'm doing with it that is going to make it more interesting, not that it won't already be, excuse me, not that it won't already be interesting on its own, but there's only so many ways you can do a genlock that don't result in like power creep and stuff like that. So the thing that I'm doing is at the end of a given generation, everybody's going to get transferred over. Everybody that's caught gets transferred over. And there's a few specific rules about how we're going to handle Pokemon in each successive generation. Wild Pokemon that are caught, we're going to have the family clause. So if I catch a Rattata, or if I catch, if I catch a Pidgeotto, a Pidgey is always going to be, invalid. Hello, Joe Body. Hello. So the family clause is going to be in effect, but that's going to be the case for the entire thing. So if I catch a Pidgey in Gen 1, no Pidgeys, no Pidgeotos, no Pidgeots for the entire remainder of the whole thing, which is going to make things start to get very restrictive as time goes on. I think it'll make it kind of interesting. It will also mean that each generation, we will be primarily focused on the new Pokemon of that generation. An update portion during Rattata grinding. The Hangout updates portion during... could not do the Hangout updates portion during... Wait, I don't know if I understand. I'm sorry. Because we did this. These are separate things. We stopped and started between the Patreon and this. We did go a little bit. We started a little bit later because the Patreon went a little bit later, but I apologize. If you want to take a second stab at it. Oh, sorry. You mean they should be together. I get you. For future ones, it is possible for some of them. If there's going to be a public hangout, there's certainly a possibility for that. But yeah, like CD was mentioned, yeah, if it's intended for the you folks who are in the $9/$10 thing, then I don't want to necessarily have this like yank out of that completely. Though it's also not impossible that this could be a thing. I feel like I'd get too distracted. Not from this. I'd be too distracted from the conversation happening. If I just had this be a thing for any given Patreon hangout, and that would just be like a private stream until the VOD or something, right? To explain though, to continue. So, catch a Pokemon. Can't do anything with that family for the rest of the, not just game, but the entire series, which means that each generation, just by that alone, Pokemon that get caught are going to skew more heavily towards that generation's new Pokemon, which I think is a good effect there. The other one, or the other pieces of this, whatever team successfully gets through the Elite Four is going to be fully retired. They are untouchable. They have won, and they enter the Hall of Fame, and the Hall of Fame will literally be a box or boxes that move forward that cannot be touched. Anybody else that has been caught is allowed to move forward, but I am not allowed to use them until I am badge capable of successfully controlling them. Since they are going to be traded Pokemon, they will become completely unruly if I don't wait that long. So, like, arguably, there's an argument for it doesn't even need to be a rule. It'll just disincentivize itself. But I'm also comfortable just making that a rule. But that way, it means that the ones that I use for a lot of the game or catch really late in the game, I can't just use that to just blast my way through the whole thing. I need to earn the ability to actually use those Pokemon. So I don't know. I think that might be kind of a neat way of doing that. I don't know. But those are the more like broad structural pieces to this. The other stuff involves more minute decisions, not in terms of scope, but in terms of like, oh, that's a finer detailed choice to make. So for the first stream, the poll question was, which Gen 1 game should I play? I am doing original Gen 1, original Gen 2, original Gen 3, original Gen 4, just because we are going to be doing those sequentially. And obviously, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire can't trade to original Diamond Pearl Platinum, and Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl can't trade forward to Black and White. Not enough torture for you. Oh, they're going to be Nuzlocks. They are Nuzlocks. That's the whole idea. It's going to be a string of Nuzlocks together. But they're not going to be padlocks. They're just going to be solo adventures. Part of the reason I put it together is because I wanted to do more Nuzlocks than my schedule with John allows, you know. I was gonna say something else and I forgot. Oh no. So Gen 1 and 2, we're probably going to emulate at least Gen 1 and 2, because then I can pass stuff through PK Hex in some meaningful way. Probably Gen 3 also, just for simplicity's sake. And then somewhere in the DS era, I will be able to use... I have an R4 card that I can load up Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Black, White 2 onto. And at some point in there, I will do that, and we'll just kind of manually push the Pokemon into the boxes like that. And then we can start using real hardware to do the trades instead. And then they will be legitimized and able to pass forward all the way to the end. So, and before Bad Egg. Fortunately, PK Hex is very good at keeping that under control. And I'm going to do my best. Essentially, we'll know in the transfer between 2 and 3. That's animal cruelty. I mean, some of them probably like it. I don't know. A few of them. Ditto probably actually is into that. Seems like the sort of thing. It might feel like a massage to a Ditto. Plus, I mean, sometimes you just have to transfer them, and a Pokeball just doesn't work for one reason or another. But yeah, so last time we did, what is the Gen 1 game going to be? And I believe the decision was Pokemon Blue wound up winning. So this time we're doing Gen 4 starters. I worry about you sometimes. Hey, I hear you. I do. This is a very, very dumb idea. Don't make no mistake. I'm aware that this is a silly-ass, stupid idea. Both halves of it. But I don't know. It just seemed like a weird-ass thing to try. There's not a huge amount of challenges that I've been able to cultivate for myself where I'm like, ooh, that's interesting. Okay. And so all this mathy stuff going on the left is updating live. I have a Lua script and a JavaScript script that's doing a bunch of stuff on the back. It's hooked into the game directly. We have our current average experience per fight, which is currently skewing a little bit below average. The exact average is that 23.3711, and that's done by averaging out the encounter table on Route 1, the experience yield of each of those things. There's actually not that many. I want to say it's like level 234 Rattata, level 2345 Pidgey. I might have one of those a little bit mixed up. I don't remember off the top of my head. Current number of fights along with the expected number based off of that average. So that 42,787 won't change. That's going to stay the same forever. So is that 23,3711. Average experience per minute, average fights per hour. That's all driven based off of how long that timer's running, along with the total experience we have, the number of fights we've had. Estimated time left, I want to say, is the full experience total divided by the average experience per minute, I believe. I want to say estimated fights left is similar, and that's also incorporating the expected experience points per fight, I think. I've never played a horror game before. I found Big Boo's Haunt and Bad Monster Mansion unsettling, even replaying them in college. Oh, I appreciate the solidarity, since I am obviously notoriously a huge weenie when it comes to spooky, scary games. After my boyfriend nagged me about it for 6 years, I started Resident Evil Requiem today. How is it? I've heard really good things so far. But I don't know how that balances against, like, weenie couch type gameplay like my own. And it sucks too, because scary as fuck so far. Fair enough. And I mean, that's kind of the goal. Part of me's happy, part of me's sad, because I like Resident Evil 7 a lot. I don't like playing it. I like experiencing it. Like, I like watching it. But when it comes down to, the controller's in my hand, I don't really like this anymore. Like, it's just, you know? I forgot, by the way, that Quick Attack is actually... I forget if Quick Attack is as strong as Tackle in Gen 1, or if it's stronger than Tackle. It's definitely not less strong. It's like half 7 and half 4. That was kind of the vibe that I was getting. That the Grace gameplay was going to be closer to 7, and that the Leon gameplay was going to be in the realm of 4. Rick enjoys watching someone else play. For Resident Evil, I do. I really do. CJ is quite good at Resident Evil, so I'm fine with that. I think if Siege was not good at Resident Evil, I would probably enjoy watching it a lot less. All my experience has been with the D-pad and Markiplier. I actually keep meaning to watch Markiplier's Resident Evil stuff. Because I know that, like, sometimes I don't know how much he does it these days. I know that for a while he was pretty notorious about also hamming things up quite a bit. But I don't know. I am intrigued. I did watch a bunch of his Five Nights at Freddy's stuff back in the day, including, I think he was like only the second person to survive 2020 night. And it was based off of essentially copying the strats of the first person to do it and managing to learn the rhythm to get it done. MST3K style comments as I played alone just to keep myself not terrified. That's not a bad strategy. I subconsciously do that sometimes with God, what was it? I used to be really not big on haunted house type attractions. Like any of those, like, oh, come to the spooky Scaryville. We've got a Halloween special running through October, November, or whatever. And you go, and it'll be like in a house, and it'll be, or you'll be in a corn maze, or you'll be in like a warehouse, and they'll do like, oh, jump scares, people in costumes. I used to hate that shit as a kid. I am much more cool with it now. There's a part of me that still really doesn't like it, but there's a part of me that actually kind of is into it. And what flipped the switch for me was, and I did this totally unconsciously. This was not like a thing I decided I was going to do. It just kind of happened. A warehouse, you by day, house by night. Nice. I went to one of these, and this was in like high school or college, and I realized that when someone would hop out to try and, oh, haunts, yes, thank you. Also, hey dude, how's it going? Azran, hello. Monster House. Is that the one? I'm thinking of Spooky House, which is a different movie from that one as well. That one's got like Ben Kingsley as like one of the main characters for it, but so what I realized I was doing was I would go in, someone would jump out, blah, whatever, and I would I would jump. It would still be a fright, but I would realize that I was just laughing, and it wasn't me laughing because I was like, hilarious, this was great. Yes, it was very much like an extension of the standard kind of like nervous laugh, like when you're in a really stressful situation and it's so absurdly stressful that your body just decides it's gonna laugh. Similar kind of thing there. It was very much like I just was suddenly like, that's like, I just kind of went with it in a way where I was laughing through all of them. It's such a weird thing to say out loud because I don't know if I'm getting the idea across very well, but it really did turn it around for me after a while. It's like, I'm not going to be like, fuck yeah, let's go to the haunt. Yeah, but like I would, if someone's like, oh, let's go in there, it's like, oh, sure, let's do it. Like, it doesn't bother me that same way. I don't know. I could probably, I think I could actually get myself to do that with some scary games. Some more than others. Because, like, when it comes to jump scares in games and movies versus real life, generally speaking, jump scares in real life for, like, spooky attractions and haunts and stuff is just, like, you get, like, a knock, knock, knock. Like, someone knocks on a really thick piece of wood, so it makes a, like, reverberating dong, 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 dong kind of thing or something. But, like, that's usually what it is, right? It's a person jumps out. Maybe you get, like, a mechanical hiss, steam, or you'll get, like, a chunk, 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 or something like that. But it's a diegetic, noise that goes along with it. And it adds to the immersion, but it also is, like, a limited kind of thing there. On the flip side, in a game or a movie or a TV show, if they want to go for a scare, there's almost none in the entirety of entertainment like that does not have some kind of a jump scare chord to go with it. And it's harder to get past it when you are artificially augmenting the scare like that, But yeah, I want to see stream Amnesia or Outlast someday. Man, I don't know anything about Outlast. I know about Amnesia. I have toyed with the idea of doing Amnesia, any of them. I think there's 3 now, or maybe it's 2. Because there's Amnesia, The Dark Descent, Amnesia, Machine for Pigs. I thought there was a 3rd one also. Oh, there's 4. Okay, because there's one where you're in like a trench too, and I don't think that's the 2nd one. But yeah, Amnesia's one where it's like, oh, here if I ever suffer from constipation, that's the 4th. Okay. All I got to do is play me some Amnesia, and that shit's going to rocket right out of me like... I don't know. I don't even have a good metaphor for getting an Amnesia game. God damn it. Damn it. Oh, man. But yeah, so that's where that's at. Oh, you know what? I'm going to sit on this screen for one quick sec because I do want to adjust our title really quick. There we go. Ding. If it ever appears. Is it not going to update? There we go. Okay. Oh no, the stats are ruined. No, they'll be fine. There we go. Okay. There was a part of me during the first stream that was like, "Oh, I hope I can get to ooh, I'll add that in 1 second here. I hope I can get past 100 fights an hour. I hope I can get past 40 experience a minute," and we've gotten both. All right, I assume that is 100 for Piplup. Doop doop doop. Excellent. So yeah, the poll for this one is what I'm going to do for my starter for Gen 4 when we get there in Generational Trauma sometime in 2027. And if you want to vote in the poll, you can spend some D points because we've got way too many of those and no anything to spend them on ever. It's funny, I'm just like observing my beard in the shot, and it's so funny that like there's not a huge difference in the thickness between what's here and what's here. The difference is what's here has a lot more gray going on in it, so it looks much thinner right now. It looks like I just got the curtain just starts right here, which is not quite reality. Yeah, the first stream that we had for this, the poll was what game we're gonna play from Gen 1, and the winner there was Pokemon Blue, which actually is the game we're playing right now too. Alrighty, but yeah, so I think let's see, how long have we been in? We've been in for probably about actually I can see based off of the timer on the bottom here, because the starting time was 1:42:08, so we've been in for about 26 and a half minutes. At some point in, I don't know, maybe an hour, maybe more than that, we'll probably be seeing the last element of our tracker. Because I got one other stupid thing that's going to be on here because I didn't have enough stuff to properly fill up the screen. And so I figured one very stupid thing would be very funny to include. It's also the reason our stats get a little abbreviated in some spots, too. Blam! I'm so charmed by, like, the original battle sprites. Some of them are, 1,000 for Turtwig. Oh, and also 100 for Chimchar. And 1,000 for Turtwig. There we go. Oh yeah, it's ridiculous. We've had, oops, I clicked on the wrong thing. We've had the accruing D points going for a long ass time, and we've never really had a good outlet for it. So I decided to make the polls for this spend them, because at least it's something for people to spend stuff on. And also, there's arguably a strategy for trying to wait for the questions that you care about the most. Turtwig 2000. We got Pokemon the movie 2000. We got Turtwig the movie 2000. Alright. What's going to get very interesting down the line for this is banning all of you. How can you do this to Monkey? This is a joke. Or Paradox form, I guess. Ooh, that's true. That's a good point. Future Turtwig. Iron Shell. I don't think there's an Iron Shell. Let's believe I'm saving up for Totodile. Nice, nice. I feel like Gen 2 is gonna be a bit of a throwdown. I feel like Gen 2 starter might be a bit of a throwdown. Alright. God, what was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought there. All the Violet Paradox. Yeah, it really bothers me because like the Scarlet ones get a little more creative, which is cool. But it's like, fuck, man, even just choose different metals or something. Copper Wing, Steel Wheel or whatever. Like I don't remember what any of them fucking were. Like they weren't great names to start with, the Paradox forms, but at the very least the Scarlet ones did something. Tin Penguin, Chrome Jugulus, yeah, right? There we go. There's some good ones there. I want to know which of the Gen 10 starters is going to have the most unexpected evolved form or most buff man, sexy woman final evolution. I think everyone is concerned that Pombon is going to become a buff dude dog. And maybe like 7%, I'd say, of Pokemon players are hoping it's big buff dude dog. As for the other two, I'm a little worried that Brout is going to evolve very similarly to Rowlet. And I think it's going to have more of a like refined type finale, especially based off of the owl that it's inspired by, the specific one. Pom-Pom where it becomes a cheerleader. Oh, that could be fun. That actually isn't a bad idea. That's not a bad call. Huh. Okay. All right. I can see that. Especially with how fluffy Pombon is, too. That's not a bad call. That'll surprise the hell out of people, I think. Brout will be Incineroar 2.0. Really? You think that Brout is going to become the big buff one? Okay. All right. And again, I feel like Gekwa is going to be evolving in a very similar way to Sobble. Maybe not quite so, like, slender. But I think it's gonna. I feel like it is gonna have some. Maybe the whole idea is that it's gonna get weirder and weirder. Maybe it'll be like Chameleon or something at the end of it. And it's just this bizarre fucking thing. Go the Quagsire route. Okay. Big dumb friend as the idea. I could kind of see that. It'll be sad, man. Just not a tall sniper sad, man. Yeah. I hope it almost has like an alien type of vibe to it. Because I could see it going in that direction. But yeah, I don't know. Brout doesn't give us a whole lot to go off of. It's just a fuzzy bird chick. Which is how most bird chicks are. Alright. You can wander up here for a little bit. Want to make sure when we get down to like, I don't know, 5 Hyper Fangs, I want to start heading down so we're not stuck out here without attack moves. The game's to not run and look like ass on release for once. Yeah. I didn't catch... I assume that Winds and Waves is being developed exclusively for Switch 2 and not also Switch 1, but I didn't double check that. It does have angry leaf eyebrows. That's true. It does have an angry face. It does have a grumpy little face. Exclusive Switch 2. Oh, okay, good. I was a little concerned when I thought about it afterwards. I'm like, they're not still going to drag this out with the Switch 1, right? Oh, we missed with Hyper Fang. Oh no, we've been critted on. We're fucked, guys. Alrighty. I don't remember at what point we get other moves, but I also don't recall Rattata learning many moves in the first place. If we are in Indonesia, the gecko might be based on a nocturnal species, water dark evolution. Interesting. Was Inteleon? No, that was Greninja was water dark. Indonesia. I didn't read anything on where it was actually based, but I was very curious if we had a read on what our region's inspiration was going to be. It's not Alola. Yeah, it definitely it's less island, more coastal. Just people speculating on biomes. Okay, all right. I was curious. I had kind of thrown out there the potential of like Greece, maybe. I had also mentioned Italy at first, but I think that if that were the case, they would have had a more obviously canal-like city to get shown off or something. Second work all day with no cell service and no Wi-Fi. Oh no! I mean, I'll be honest. Even despite the fact there was a reveal, you didn't miss much. There was not a lot to go off of there. Like, pictures will get you all the way with this. It does look better than both Sword and Shield, which isn't hard, and Scarlet and Violet, which isn't much harder. And I say this having recently touted Legend ZA as being for sure the best Pokemon has looked in 3D by like a huge margin. Including, and I know it came up in a recent episode, Charizard. I still can't put my finger on what they changed about Charizard's model, but he looks better in Legend ZA than I think he's ever looked in 3D, ever. I can't quite place it, but something about it looks incredible. The face, the arms, it's like a little of everything. Oh, Strats, no. Yeah, it's odd. It's definitely like a lot of individual small things that all kind of come together. But yeah, the pose, the arms, the wings look pretty natural there. Yeah, also XD coming out on NSO before Coliseum is bizarre. That is a super strange choice. Like, it just feels very weird. I'm also waiting for when they bring back the Gen 1 and 2 3DS type ports. I have heard that XD is just straight up a better game, yeah. All they would need to do with the Gen 1 ports is adjust it so it's compatible with Pokemon Home instead of Pokemon Bank. I don't know how much that entails. Maybe that's more involved than I'm giving credit for. But, like, they're just sitting there. They released the Gen 1. It's so funny that they released the Gen 1 remakes for as ports, I guess, for the 30th anniversary, because the original Gen 1 games got re-released on the 3DS for the 20th anniversary. So it's been 10 years. I got to imagine that they could just make it happen. Also, hilariously, because of the nature of how they're re-releasing Fire Red and Leaf Green, because they're not being done as Nintendo Classics, or at least they're not going through the Nintendo Classics app. Like, they're not going through the GBA Nintendo Classics app. I think technically that makes them ports, like proper ports. It's probably literally just doing the same. It's probably literally doing the same type of emulation that the GBA ones do, but Nintendo Classics apps aren't accessible at Pokemon Home. We went over this. No, 100%. I'm not. It's not a complaint. It's a realization that for technically, I guess it would depend how you want to define the Gen 1 ones on the 3DS, Gen 1 and Gen 2 and the 3DS also. But it would technically be the first time that these games are actually being, like, fully ported to another system, I guess? I don't know. It's a very blurry line on this definition. And I'm probably just giving it a quality that is not actually there. Because if it's mechanically using the same emulation type manner as Nintendo Classics, but it's had rewind removed and save states removed or something, then, like, ultimately it doesn't really matter. But it does mean that if you can only really play it essentially the same way the original worked, without any, like, meta stuff happening on the outside, then it is kind of just a Switch 2 port of Fire Red and Leaf Green. Probably Switch 1 also, right? But, like, it was just very interesting to think about that, and I'm like, huh. That does kind of make it a Switch 2 port of a remake of a pair of games that came out 30 years ago. I don't know. I'm certainly overthinking this, but it just feels interesting from a, like, trivia standpoint. Also, did I just miss with tackle? Dang. Getting close to level 18. Hell yeah. I mentioned before... Yeah, oh yeah, we got our 1 in 256. It's going to happen... It would be expected to happen, I don't know, over 150 times over the course of this whole thing. Now you can freely use those games to get legal versions of a bunch of legendaries that are locked to have shitty IVs. Woo! Yes! We love it. Oh, God. Tackle isn't even 100%. Oh, you're right. It is 95%. You're totally right. I completely spaced on that. I think the other reason Quick Attack is just unambiguously better in Gen 1. I forget if it's the same strength as Tackle or better, but I believe Quick Attack is 100% accuracy. The Roar Glitch. What is the Roar Glitch? Also, even if it was 100% and it is also stronger. Okay, that's what I thought. I think later gens, it's the same or weaker, isn't it? But yeah, even if it was 100% accuracy and we were getting the Gen 1 accuracy glitch, we're also only using it in, currently, 35 out of approximately 80 battles, so we would only be seeing it around 75 times. So we can say, as it doesn't know Roar, if roaming Raikou or Entei uses Roar to flee battle, you lose them forever. What? But that's... Huh? But that's the whole way they work. They flee battle by... Oh, wait, no, sorry. Do they normally use Roar to flee the battle, or is it that they just run away? Yeah, they run, you can encounter them again. Okay, yeah. Gotcha. Oh, because presumably the game is specifically coded to be like, oh, these ones are going to run if they can, but it's like a special kind of run where it keeps the thing going. Roar forces you to flee. Oh, okay, that makes more sense. Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah, Roar, because normally Roar in a trainer battle forces the opponent to switch. Can shadow tag or mean look them. Okay. And I guess in Gen 3 forward, you could also grab somebody with, like, Arena Trap or something. And then they worry. Oh, wait, no, Arena Trap wouldn't help because that's not fleeing. If anything, that would make it likelier for them to... They worry you eventually. Oh, yeah, wait, no, that's after the thing there. Hello, Zaf. Hello. How's your day? Arena Trap. Yeah, Diglett and Dugtrio get Arena Trap. But again, that doesn't stop it from roaring is the real problem. That fucking sucks. That blowskis. Dang. Whoop, let me just drag that over there. There we go. This is a Shadow Tagger in Kanto. That, I don't know. Gen 1 was pretty skimping when it came to any... Shadow Tag is a ghost-type move, right? Why not Wobbuffet? That makes sense. That makes sense. I think that was a big part of why we had our panic... sorry, ability. Yes, not a move. I guess it wouldn't be... There's no such thing as a ghost-type ability, though. Yeah, I want to say that was a big part of what messed John up when we encountered a Wobbuffet in, what was it, X and Y, maybe? And we had to figure out if we were even legally allowed to flee battles with our own rules. Mean Look is the move. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. And Ghastly, maybe Arbok get it. It makes sense for Arbok. I know Arbok gets a lot of, like... Because I think it also gets, like, Leer and Glare, too. Alright. Cool. Hey, Cerebi. Yeah, I guess that's fair. Bow, bow, bow. Bow. Bow, 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 bow. Sweet. Alrighty. I wish Cerebi and Bulbapedia were like 5% more convenient to use. I don't entirely know how I would improve them, but I would. There's something about both of them. Zubat, Ghastly, Jinx. Okay, yeah, those make sense. Cerebi is still coded together in a very Web 1.0 kind of way. There's some mild navigational quality of life improvements I think I would make. Bulbapedia, I find pretty convenient in terms of searchability, but the ads on there and just the general wiki situation they've got is very slow. Unless you've got a shitload of ad blockers going on and you are not on Chrome. For whatever reason, Chrome, like, completely collapses on itself on Bulbapedia for me. Like, if you open 2 tabs in Bulbapedia, your computer will, like, noticeably run slower. Firefox, less of an issue. But it is wacky that it does that. Joe Cerebi the other day posted a flashback to the screenshot, the joke being that it has barely changed. Yeah, I noticed. I saw that too. It's like, how far we've come, and I'm just looking at it because it was, is it Joe Merrick that runs that, or is that a different Joe? Braziano. Oh, I have an ad blocker. I have ad blockers for sure. Joe Merrick. Okay, yeah. But yeah, I remember looking at him like, that doesn't look like it's changed even a little bit. What? A distant relative of the Elephant Man. Is that true, or is it just they have the same last name? That's a wild connection, if so. That is true. Wow, dang. It's widescreen now, I think. That's fair, yeah. That's a very neat, like, bit of trivia there. I actually don't remember the Elephant Man's last name. I've never actually seen the movie. I want to say... Wasn't the Elephant Man played by, like, oh, he was also named Joe Merrick. Oh, hilarious. Wasn't he named John Merrick? Okay. Wasn't he played by, like, Gary Oldman or something? The Elephant Man... Yeah, he had elephantitis of the face, essentially, which just causes massive growths and things. Oh, John Hurt. Gotcha. My bad. I was like, I know that it was like a legit famous actor. Who the hell was it? And much as I love Gary Oldman, John Hurt was, R.I.P., a a major like legend of screen. I'm blanking. Wasn't he in the film version of 1984? He has like, oh, it's far from his only or his greatest for sure. It was a great surprise though as the War Doctor. That was a great one. But yeah, I want to say I could swear that he might have been the main guy in like either 1984 or something, but he was also in Merlin. Merlin, the like made-for-TV movie with Sam Neill. From like, I don't know, 1999 or something. No, the TV series. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that was a moderately recent thing, wasn't it? Like late 2010s or something? Right. Also, Sarah's messaging me too. I should actually probably look at this. Oh, no. Sarah's making some chocolate stuff for her dad's birthday. Says, sigh, caramel temp was creeping up very slowly. Went and did chocolate things for a few minutes. Caramel overcooked and burned. No soft, chewy, delicious. Hard, crunchy, burned. Sigh. Oh, that fucking sucks. He was the main dude in 1984. Okay. I still haven't seen the movie itself. I've seen bits and pieces of it. But I was like, I could swear I remember seeing him in the big, like, audience crowd bits for that. I really should watch that at some point. Sugar temps are real killer sometimes. They really are. And Sarah's very good at this, too. Like, I have tried doing a few things that involve delicate sugar temps, and I've had, like, modest success with them. Like, I made Millionaire Shortbread for a Super Bowl party probably a decade ago, and it was the most nervous I think I've ever been cooking anything. And then pretty recently, actually, for actually this year's Super Bowl, I made a Boston cream pie / cheesecake dip and a coconut cream pie / cheesecake dip, and both of these involved making custard. And that shit is hilarious. If you've ever made custard, if you've never made custard, it's wild how fast that goes from I'm just whisking a pot full of kinda liquid to, oh, it's turning to glue really fast. Which, to be fair, you want to happen because then you mix in butter and it re-softens back up and it becomes that custardy consistency. But it really just suddenly, like, chemistry just suddenly happens to custard. It's kind of incredible. I only realized recently that Jessica Walter was Morgan Le Fay in the Doctor Strange TV movie. Whoa. That's interesting. I want so badly to watch all of the, like, pre-MCU Marvel movies, including the more well-known ones and the not well-known ones. I've never seen Howard the Duck. I've heard it's complete dog shit. I've never seen the Doctor Strange TV movie. I've never seen either of the Captain America movies, because there's 2 of them. I've never seen the Roger Corman Fantastic Four movie. I guess what I mean is pre-2000 Marvel movies. Because I've seen almost everything from 2000 onward. I've seen all the X-Men movies except for New Mutants. I have not watched the Blade movies. I have watched all the Spider-Man movies. I have watched the 2 Fantastic Four movies with the guy whose name is like Welsh or something, and I can never remember. It's Ian something. But I have not seen Fanforstic one of these days. Big problem with caramel from syrup is how much the temp curve changes as soon as there's no water in the situation. Yeah, the food chemistry happens so fast sometimes. I feel more vindicated every day and never getting into the MCU at all. There is some good stuff in there. At the end of the day, you are grading it against popcorn movies. Like, very little of the MCU is anything you could even remotely consider as, like, fine art or anything. But I think there's a few in there that do ascend beyond the limitations of the MCU. I think Captain America Winter Soldier is phenomenal. I think the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, all three of them are excellent. It's the only, like, truly, I think, perfect score for any series in the MCU. Even the Spider-Man movies do miss a little bit, but those ones are also quite good. Iron Man, the original Iron Man still holds up. It's crazy how well that holds up. And also, if you really want your brain to kind of split in half, Iron Man came out less than a year after Spider-Man 3. They feel like they couldn't be more, like, miles apart from each other, but they were a year apart. It's redonkulous. Saw the Avengers and Civil War incidentally. Okay, yep. It really sucks that watching the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy requires watching all the rest of the Infinity Saga in between 2 and 3. I think the only stuff you'd be missing... So, if you wanted to get the full Guardians experience, right, you'd wind up with Guardians 1, Guardians 2, then you get Infinity War and Endgame, if you want to be very thorough about it. Then you could literally watch like 5 minutes of Thor Love and Thunder. You got the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special and Guardians 3. And that's assuming you don't want to watch I Am Groot, which would take you like an hour for all 2 seasons. But also, you absolutely... If you wanted the full Guardians experience, it's 1, 2, Infinity War, Endgame 3. You could... probably the Christmas special also. Yeah, it does take a ton of setup. But also, if you're just interested in the Guardians portion of it, you can get by without anything else. You'll be confused about other pieces of it, but if you're just there for Guardians, then you don't need the other pieces. What I really miss about the old MCU is the subtle connections that they would make. They're not very subtle anymore. But like one thing I thought was very cool, all the way back in Phase 1, is you're watching Iron Man 2, and Tony Stark is following his father's notes to try to essentially finish inventing a new element, which is a thing that happens, I guess. And the element would be a fuel source as well. But so he's doing all this stuff, and in the notes related to this, apparently Howard Stark scratched a little cube in there, which is the Tesseract, which in the Captain America movie he had direct contact with and was studying for a while. And it gets implied that the energy of the arc reactor is actually the same energy as the Tesseract, because the weapons in Captain America the First Avenger, the Hydra weapons have that same like that high-pitched hum with it. Little teeny detail things that actually kind of add up to a very interesting and pretty tightly packed set of movies, and they don't do that anymore. They've got so many projects going that every time they make a reference to something else, it's like, time-wise, it's still about the same. But project-wise, it's like, oh, this will come up 4 shows and 3 movies from now. It's like, ew, okay. I pretty much stopped watching the MCU. At the moment I stopped reviewing the TV shows, that was when I had stopped watching MCU stuff. I've watched Guardians 3. I watched Thunderbolts on one of my plane trips for work. I think I watched it on the way to New York last year. That was actually pretty good. It was a pretty decent movie. And I actually like the themes they play with in that one too. The general setup for the movie is hey, someone's trying to pull an Avengers initiative again, but this time everybody involved is just, like, not a good person. So it's sort of the Avengers, like, the Avengers 1, the Avengers initiative merged with Suicide Squad. And in a much more sincere and genuine way, there's a real exploration of, like, what makes a person good or bad, and if there is any redemption, if you do something bad on purpose or if you do something bad by mistake and stuff like that. And, like, it's not like, the heaviest, deepest stuff in the world, but it's an interesting thing to explore. It's handled a little more gracefully than similar themes in Age of Ultron. Sorry, I'm all congested. I want to wipe my nose without doing it on camera. But yeah, I don't know. Okay, that is still running. I don't know. I would like to catch up with the Marvel movies more or less, because I would like to, at least for the movies, I would like to see Avengers Doomsday. I don't know if I'll see it in theaters. There was a point where I was debating doing a series retrospective type thing as an excuse to actually rewatch and watch everything, but nah. If work was not as busy and hectic as it was, maybe, but I got too much going on. I also keep flip-flopping between how much I want to care that much about the MCU. And it kind of hurts because I used to really, really like those movies. I still do like, the Infinity Saga stuff, and I'm intrigued by the Multiverse Saga stuff. I liked WandaVision, I liked Loki, I liked Thunderbolts, I like Guardians 3. I think that's about as much of a, like, ooh, I really liked as I get out of the newest batch of movies. Which the crazy part is, the Multiverse Saga has only been running for 5 years. Like, the distance between Iron Man 1 and Iron Man 3 was 5 years. Barely into the second phase. And instead, we're almost done with the Multiverse Saga. We'll be done with it next Christmas. We have a year and a half left. It'll be less than 7 years from start to finish, as compared to the 11 years for the Infinity Saga. It's fucking wild. Oh boy. But yeah, I don't know. It's I still don't. I think there are folks who very much are on the side of, like, the movies were always crap. I don't think that's true. Or yeah, they had it coming or whatever. I think that's silly. But I also don't even necessarily think. Did this phase fall immediately hard into a pile of cancellations and actually never mind Kang they're trying to salvage by bringing their biggest retired stars back? Yeah. It was a little mismanaged from the start. COVID wound up really scrambling their initial plans. And then Jonathan Majors wound up being a phenomenal piece of shit. And they were hanging the entire series on him. It would have been... Actually, I was going to say it would have been like if Josh Brolin suddenly had, like, really intense shit come out against him. But it's not, because he had a shitload of makeup and stuff on. And while it wouldn't have been, like... There was already a different person who played Thanos in the first Avengers movie. I think it was Damien Poitier. So, like, they've all, like, they could have someone else play Thanos. I think that Josh Brolin did an incredible job. But if something happened, they could have had a different Thanos. Not so easy with Kang. Or at least, it's so fucking funny in a dark way, but like they could have salvaged it if it wasn't for the fact that the literal last thing that came out that involved him right before all the shit hit the fan was a movie that ended with a stinger that had a shot with thousands of Jonathan Majorses as different Kangs. Yeah, he's doing a fucking Daily Wire movie, which is like, holy fuck, you really are desperate at this point, man. That's crazy to me. Fuck the Daily Wire. By the way, in case that's not really obvious, fuck Ben Shapiro, fuck the Daily Wire, fuck Turning Point. Fuck those people. Oh my god. You truly have to be the most soulless piece of shit to willingly get in bed with Turning Point and the Daily Wire and those fucking people. Like, it's not a mystery what kind of people those folks are at this point. Right. Also, fuck Gina Carano as well, while we're at it, like... Oop, got another message from Sarah. Let me check on this real quick here. I hate the new phone. I upgraded my phone, and now it no longer has a home button. So the way that I go to my home screen is by swiping up the bottom real fast. But if I do it too fast or too slow, it doesn't work. And also, if I want to see all my apps side by side, I have to swipe up really fast, but stop halfway. What a stupid fucking system. Just give me my goddamn button back, please. Ugh. Yeah, apparently the caramel was below by a bunch, temperature-wise, and then suddenly just shot up like crazy. We have an electric stove. We've been debating if we wanted to. It came with the house. We gotta decide if we want to do anything with that or not. I missed the buttons on my phone. All right. I'm gonna wipe my nose again. Sorry. Yeah, hardware buttons are the fucking best. Like, touchscreens are useful and all, but... Man. Alrighty. Sadly, we're still a little low on our expected experience yield. I'm curious what the total fights will want. Like, ironically, the average experience per fight... will indicate whether we need more or fewer than the expected number of fights. But I am curious where we end up at the far end of it all. Okay. QA testing for an app is my job, and I was recently looking at old phones for compatibility reasons. Man, having an actual home button with tactile feedback is so much better. Yes. God, yes. It's so fucking annoying, especially if I'm playing a game or if I'm in an app where they have stuff that's near the bottom of the screen. You better believe I'm going to be like half-clicking on a bunch of shit trying to get my goddamn home menu up again. Stainless steel griddle on top that has electric heating elements. I don't want to increase my gas usage. That's fair. That's fair. An induction stove sounds very interesting. Even haptic buttons are real cool. Why don't we do more haptic shit? I use a Steam Deck. It's awesome without the headache of jamming buttons. I mean, I haven't done as much haptic stuff. Some of it is fine. It's very freaky in some ways when they get it. When they get it just right, it's like almost spooky how the haptic feedback stuff works. But like, yeah, I don't know. There's got to be something other than just everything is on screens. I want some physical buttons, goddammit. Now we're back to being out of quick attack again. Alright, let's get some Hyper Fang going. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Okay. Blow. And away we go. Oh, I like, by the way, for the Pokemon Masters EX app, that they've added, like, Sugimori Art Red as its own character for the 30th anniversary. I think that's a super charming idea. I think that's a very cool thing for them to do. It's very cute. We might just sneak over 110 fights per hour. It's gonna be close. I don't know. All right. It's possible. It's gonna be a little close, a little snug. And the mystery gift. Oh, for Pokemon Masters? Have you gone and done your mega Garchomp situation? Yeah. As I commented during the reaction thing, I was like, oh, so the goal of this segment is to specifically spoil every Mega Evolution. Awesome. Very saddening. Like, the game's been out a while. I can't complain too much, but it's just like, that felt unnecessary. Of just like, let's just put all of them out there. And it's like, well, all right, I guess. It's crazy. It felt so needless. That's shit I would do. Don't do that. Oh, God. Our average XP is slowly climbing, it seems like. I think at one point it was up to like 23.1, but I don't know. I'd be very intrigued to see a chart made of, like, fight by fight, the average XP shifting over time and slowly, like, converging on whatever the final one is. I wish I wasn't so congested. I'm very sorry. I hope I'm not sniffling into the mic too much. Alright. STRATS. No. No. There we go. Am I crazy? Did that? Huh. Alright. I miscounted whatever the estimated fights left was for a second there. I thought it said 43,006, and I was like, oh, maybe we'll get under 43,000 left, but nope. Or maybe the Pidgey was just worth so little that the average stuff changed and it went, oh, alright. Let's see if it goes up for this one. Nope. I mean, granted, we got 23 experience for that, but just curious. Level 5, so this will be above the 23. I think this is our best experience yield out of all of our options. Yeah, 39 experience points. Hey, we're under 43,000 to go. All right. I gotta get back to heal because we may run out of Hyper Fang otherwise. Finish out the dex has resulted in my collection having 20 shiny Pokemon. God damn. That's fucking nuts. I'm very curious when I'm going to encounter my first non-scripted shiny. Like, I wouldn't count the Ponyta from Legends Arceus as being, like, a meaningful shiny, you know? Let's also save. Alright, we're back to it. Here we go. Alright, I think that's only our second heal of the night. We heal about once every half hour or so. It's going to be even easier when we get a move that we can replace Tail Whip with, so we have 4 attacking moves. Took a while in my normal playthrough to find one, but it was before the end of the game before I found my first. Okay, alright. Legends has for sure been my highest rate of shinies. Legends Arceus was my highest rate of shinies in any Pokemon game ever. Like, I got a bunch of them there. I think it took until the very end of Pokemon Violet on, like, the last stream for me to get my shiny Charmander. I believe it was literally, like, minutes before I ended the final stream of that. And I think that was the first core series shiny that I have gotten. From the Spinnerack in the graveyard. Heard the sound from the other side of the wall. Spent a frantic minute searching for it. Oh, he's just chilling. Nice. I want to say that for ZA, if a shiny is generated, it will stick around unless it specifically flees. Like, unless it gets spooked and runs away, it won't just despawn. I think. Alright. Well, that's pretty quick. Blah. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm curious what I'll get, though, for shinies in ZA. Curious how the rest of the game is going to work as well. As of the last recording, we're up to rank W, working towards rank V. Which would be, I think, I guess that's only that we're only 3 in, and we're about to be 4 in, so that's a 6th-ish, a little less than actually of the alphabet. Oh no, shiny bird flew away. It's no good. Alright. Can we get to 111 fights per hour? Was it quite a few streams before the end? I thought it was like right at the end of I thought it was like right at the end when I was wrapping up with Blueberry Academy. Which granted would not have been the last one. I'm so high in the frame because I was expecting to be slouching more. Cuz I did the Mochi DLC thing as the last one, I think. That was my busted, fucked up stream where something was wrong on the tech side. Okay. Almost at the 3-hour mark. Alright. Cool. So Gen 4 starters. Turtwig, Chimchar, Piplup. I'm trying to think. So for Brilliant Diamond, I think I did Piplup, because that's where I got Pippa. I think I did Piplup for no, hang on, because I was gonna say I thought I did Piplup for Legends Arceus or something, but the 5th Indigo Disc Stream out of 9. Oh, all right, fair enough. I believe it was right at the end of the stream at the very least, but I gotta blow my nose. I'm sorry, guys. Hang on one sec. Ugh, gross. Anyway, I'm trying to remember, for Legends Arceus, I don't remember what we did for, because that one was what? Cyndaquil, Oshawott, and Rowlet? And I think we did Rowlet for that. And then Legends ZA, I think we grabbed Totodile, and that's Serengeti. Why did I think Piplup? I think because you can get a Piplup in Legends Arceus. That's where I got confused. But I think I did Piplup for Brilliant Diamond. John, I think, did Turtwig. I don't remember, though. It's only been about 11 years since we did that one. Boo. Right. Hoping to be less congested for more of these in the future, because Jesus. The irony of getting new moves is, on the one hand, you would arguably want to get stronger moves. However, if you want to maximize the battles and minimize the time spent not battling, you would want to just have moves that have the most PP. Because you'd spend the least time going back to heal. Right. Ah, boo. Critical hit. Uh-oh, guys, we're in trouble. You can still get rid of some extra moves. Oh, for sure. It's also animation time to consider. That's a good point. Did I miss twice in a row with that? Jeez. 1 in 400 chance. But yeah, Tail Whip we don't need. So we can absolutely get rid of that. And then after that, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. And again, I don't think Rattata is going to learn all that many in the first place, so... Okay. In it quick. Hey, buddy. Cool. This was such an interesting overlay to put together. I did what I could to make sense of everything that was going on in there, but there's a lot of moving parts. Okay. What is that icon? It's not showing up in the chat there, but it is on Twitch. Moments badge. It reminds me of like a communion wafer. I don't know if I've seen that one before, or at least I have not noticed it before. Alrighty. Getting very close to level 20. Only another, I don't know, 3 battles after this. Yeah, should be about 3. Could be 2 if we get a high-level Pidgey first, but probably 3. What do we get for this one? Level 3. Yeah, at this point it's almost guaranteed. If we got a... Oh, damn. Strats. Strats, you really need some glasses, buddy. There we go. Alright. So yeah, a level 5 Pidgey would still be enough. It would still get us there on the next one. Oh. No. Okay. Not happening. Got it. Alright. Right. Alright, we tackle our guy and we get our level. So now we have this little situation where for the remainder of this run, every level up we have to manually stop Strats from evolving into Eradicate. So the middle section is going to be us counting out 81 Raticates. Because for 81 level ups, we have to manually tell Strats not to level up. So yes, there's a 9x9 square of space just for Raticate sprites. Yeah, it actually was very nice that it happened to be 9x9 because it's 80 plus 1 because you have to do it at level 20 and then you have to do it 80 more times after that. So it worked out very nicely. Not even going to correct my typo. Look, if I'm going to get the world record for 100 I'll be the first one to come out and say nobody should do this challenge ever. Nobody should do it. I'm an old... Yeah. It's that type of old English that got somewhat preserved by Welsh. Oh, boy. But yeah, that was the thing that I was double checking on tech-wise tonight, was to make sure that that counter actually worked correctly. Because that is also happening automatically on the side. Now, I'm probably going to do a little bit of editing magic on it in the VOD, because right now it triggers as soon as the level up happens, but in the VOD, I'm probably going to tweak it so that it happens when the evolution gets stopped. But there's no way that I'm aware of to hook into that moment in the actual... There's probably some code that I can specifically hook into a canceled evolution, but this is much easier, honestly. Oh my god, my sinuses are locked down right now. It's crazy. I literally, like a week or two ago, I had a sinus infection so bad that I was actually sick. And my sinuses have not fully released since then. And apologies to Carnium for having any complaints at all about my sinuses. But yeah, it's been... Literally, I've just been, massaging this zone between my right eye and my nose for the past 2 weeks every now and then. Because it's just been so fucking... I've literally gotten in the habit of pinching my nose shut and very gently blowing as if I'm blowing my nose to send the pressure back up, essentially. And I can tell that I've relieved a little bit of pressure. This is going to be very gross. If you don't want to hear like body type gross, not fluids type gross, body type gross. I can tell that I have just hit the right spot if I gently feel a little like boop, like it's like a little almost bubble of air, pillow of air just under and behind like my eyeball. If I just feel it kind of go like, and it's like, oh, all right, there's a little bit of that pressure released. To be clear, if you ever cover your nose and do a blowing motion, do not go full power or you'll fuck some shit up in your head. You will properly damage yourself doing that. Don't do that. It's already probably kind of unsafe for me to do like a very, very gentle thing there. But I have found it is relieving the pressure when I've got that stuff going on, but I don't know. It's probably not a smart idea, but it's been okay as a quick solve, so. But yeah, I would love for my fucking sinus pressure to go away. It's driving me fucking nutty. It's so irritating I could nut. Also, everybody's body's gross. Everybody's body's gross. Everybody pees and poops, and sometimes the poop is kind of more like pee. Like, we're all disgusting. This phase of recovery is nothing. The week when I also had a cold, that was bad. Ooh. Yeah, that sounds like a not-so-great combination. That sounds devastating. Ugh. Oh, man. I have a sleep study test type device that was supposed to be delivered yesterday/today, and it still hasn't arrived. And I need to use the damn thing. And the best nights for me to do that in the immediate future are tomorrow night and Sunday. And I'm like, man, they're just like, we will deliver it at some point. It's the next town over, but we don't know where you're going to get it. And it's like, how? Very upsetting. It's a good thing I finished eating before you went live. Yeah, I mean, I try to not, have things get gross, but sometimes it will happen. Pidgey. But yeah, it's fun to be in Raticate stopping territory now. I believe we've already gotten more experience points so far this stream than we did last stream, so that's good. Granted, in the first stream, we also had to be careful about not fainting. That was actually kind of scary. The first stream was actually a little bit nerve-wracking until we got to like level 10. Because it was like, hey, let's not faint. Technically, this is a Nuzlocke. It doesn't have to be, but at this point, I won't lose. It's not even an option of losing. So much would have to go wrong in a row, and if it even started to go that way, I could literally run from battle. Like, so it's not happening, Excuse me. Why did I go down that road with it, though? Oh, yeah. Because that first stream, who are you going to call for Ghosts? I actually have a plan for that. I did plan for that. I may as well bring it up now because it's not, either people will forget by the time we get to the other end, or whatever, something else. But Rattata can learn a very small number of non-normal type TMs. In fact, I believe he can learn exactly 2 non-normal type TMs that do damage. And off the top of my head, I believe they're Bubble Beam and... Oh, what's the other one? I was going to say, like, Thunder Shock, but that's not right. Oh, Water Gun. That sounds more right, yeah. But even just Water Gun alone is enough to handle ghosts. I did consider that. I did consider that because there was a point where I was debating doing this in other generations. And because the actual Youngster Joey that has the top percentage Rattata, I want to say is in Gen 2, not Gen 1. But in Gen 2, you have to fight... Oh, Thunderbolt and Thunder. Okay. I was like, my brain was saying Thunderbolt. I'm like, that seems too good, though. I thought it was a weaker one. But yeah, he's Gen 2. The problem, though, is... Gen 2 has Morty as a gym leader much, much, much earlier than this game has Lavender Tower and Agatha. I have all the time in the world to prep for both of those. Morty, I think Morty is like, what, 4th or 5th? He might actually be later than Lavender Tower. But also Lavender Tower you can actually get clever with and I don't know if you can completely avoid ghosts in Lavender Tower. I think there's at least a few trainer fights you have to do there, but you can also do enough stuff that you can be prepared before then. Oh, and Dig and Toxic. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I thought there was a list of 4 that I had. There were different types. I don't have I have a notepad file with a bunch of this stuff in there, but is somewhat flexible in Gym Order Pro Pseudo-Udo. That's fair enough. But yeah, Gen 2 seemed to be a lot harder to do that with, or at least less straightforward. This one is going to be pretty easy to handle the ghost situation, because I think by the time I get to Celadon, if nothing else, I could buy Thunder or Thunderbolt, I forget which. But I could buy one once I get there, so that won't be a big deal. The hardest stuff before then is going to be... actually nothing. I'll be level 100. I was going to say, handling rock types is going to be annoying, and it's like, no it isn't. You'd have Dig before Morty. Alright. But yeah, this was one where I was just like, the ghost types are so late in the game that I really won't need to worry about it. So long as Rattata could learn non-normal type damaging moves, which it can. Man, I should have made myself a second soup. Whoops. Bow. But yes, there is a plan for ghost types. Oh, we got over 112 fights per hour. Hell yeah. It's a shame I can't get myself any PP up while we're out here. Getting a little bit lower on the quick attack. Does it make more sense to move quick attack into the second move slot so you're pressing less average buttons per fight? Probably. Almost certainly. I mean, in a purely academic sense, yes. The difference is such a small fraction of a second that it really probably doesn't matter. And at some point, we're going to learn something that we can replace Tail Whip with also. I think at level 25? Though that might be Super Fang. Can you even reorganize moves like that in Gen 1? I believe so. I think you have to go into... I'm trying to remember how it worked. Wasn't it like select or something? But I also don't know that I want to mess with it because I don't know what that will mean for my little tracker situation up top there. The moves on that list are not hard-coded in. They are dynamically doing their thing. But I'm a little anxious because I didn't test it with I didn't test it with reorganization. Fraction of a second for 20,000 fights. I mean, realistically, more like 40,000 fights. Pretty reasonable time sync. That is true. We're talking like in the ballpark of a tenth to like maybe we'll say an eighth of a second. It's very much like ding ding and we're out. But also an eighth of a second times 40,000 is 5,000 seconds. So that is about an hour and a half across all of this. You're not using quick attacks for all the fights. That's true. And when I do Hyper Fang, I hit up instead of down 3 times. So it's about a third of the fights. So we're probably adding on about 30 minutes, give or take. And as soon as we have a 4th attacking move, it's going to be even less than that. So we're probably looking at more like 20 minutes. It's all just super, super ballpark estimates, but... Alright. Where's the poll? The poll is on the screen right now. Which Gen 4 starter should I use in General Trauma? That you can vote with D points. However many D points you spend is the number of points you will add to the choice that you like. 4th attack move makes the whole thing moot regardless. Yeah, pretty much. Because at this point, any move I do that is real damage and not calculated or proportional damage is going to just one-hit kill everybody here. Also, considering the time scale we're talking about, 20 minutes is barely going to be a blip on the damn thing. That's, we're talking less than 1,000th of the entire runtime. All right, 10 votes for Turtwig. There we go. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da-biddy-boo. Oh, cool. And I'm expecting to spend at least another, hour in here. Maybe an hour and a half. I don't exactly know. If I could get us to 5 hours, that'd be kind of nice. But we'll see. We'll see where we're at. Still argument for the highest possible number of moves as close as possible to the cursor, even when you do have 4 attacking. Oh, literally, as soon as it runs out, switching the moves to do that with. There's an argument for it. I think I want to test to make sure it doesn't fuck up my... Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Putting the ones that have the most moves closer to it. That's fair. I think between this stream and the next one, I will do a little testing, because if I fuck up the tracker, it's going to make my editing job such an outrageous nightmare. Have a good one, Joe Body. I'll catch you later. Whoops, I went the wrong way. That's all right. Have a good night. Okay. Boo-da-boo-boo-biddy-boo-boo. Bow. Bow. So it's worth pointing out, so now we've been in here for just a few seconds longer than the first stream. First stream, hour 42 and 8 seconds. We've now been in this for an hour 42 and about 20 seconds. You'll notice that despite the first stream getting us from level 2 or 3, from 3 to 15, we've only gone up 5 levels so far here, about to be 6, because it's going to slow down a lot going forward. It's going to keep on slowing down. We got a little over like 3,000 experience points, 4,000 experience points in the first stream. 92 is half of 99 bullshit. Oh, what is that? 92 is half of 99. I mentioned earlier in the night, I think during the Patreon hangout, it's the exponential growth of the required RuneScape level curve is fun. Ooh, Jesus. It's not quite that bad, but we'll know that we'll know that we've gotten past the halfway mark when we hit level 80. Level 80 takes just over half of the number of experience points to get to level 100. The amount of XP required to get a skill from level 1 to 92 is the same as from 92 to 99. Jesus. Actually, I'm going to do a little quick math here. Oop. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and... Oh, all right, there we go. That's why we do that. Yeah, level 79 is around 493,000 experience points. Level 80 is 512,000 experience points. So in between level 79 and 78 is the halfway point. As an achievement for getting to level 92 prayer in RuneScape 3. The name of the achievement, nice. That's brutal. Friends star in line 181 is the halfway point to 200. Okay. That's at least... Oh, I guess that's worse, actually. Dang, Rattata has the simple, level cube. Yep, super easy. All you gotta do is measure, is multiply the level you're trying to get to by itself, and then by itself again, and that's the amount of experience you need. So level 100 is 100 cubed is 1 million. 80 cubed is 512,000. So just a little over half. Alright, we're back to it. We are back to it. We're going to hit level 21 before we get to 400 fights. Ooh, our average experience per fight has been slowly climbing too. That's good. That's always a good sign. Alright. I keep forgetting. It's like, no, our tackle is back now, so we can just aim-ash through it. Oh, man. I was going to say there's a part of me that wishes that, like, that some of these earlier games would get not necessarily a remake, because one, we've already gotten 2 separate Gen 1 remakes at this point. We got Fire Red Leaf Green as well as Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. But even just like a mechanical update that like fixes the typing bugs, you know, maybe are like optionally adds abilities. There has to be like a fan game product. Oh yeah, that's a good call. I meant to save after we healed. Pokédex 2. I feel like there has to be a Pokemon fan game or mod whose entire purpose is just unfucking the fucked parts of Gen 1, and then one that also like optionally adds on stuff from later things. Like that's harder to mod in, like you'd have to probably homebrew that, but I know abilities and things would be kind of neat. Right. And we go. Oh, we got over 113. Pokemon Re-Red would be a good name for it. That'd be fun. There we go. Pokemon Re-Blue. 8,000 hacks for Fire Red that do stuff like that? Probably. That's probably true. Well, the thing is, Fire Red itself also does fix most of that. You could probably update a lot of the abilities and movesets and things. I'm sure there's probably a bunch of I'm sure there's probably a bunch of mods where the whole purpose is to just update movesets or abilities to match a later generation or something. We got our second Raticate. They finally invented Raticate 2. 114 per hour. Hey. Well, that was Gen 7. Oh, I guess that is Raticate 2. Yeah, that's a fair point. Maybe a fun, sneaky thing to do is hide some Alolan Raticates in there. That'd be cute. Wow. Oh, man. Oh, we got over 400 fights as well. Hell yeah. Whoops. Get back in the grass. I'll be very curious to see... Other than Tauros, were there any Paldean forms of earlier Pokemon? Was that a Paldean Wooper that did Clodsire, or was it a... I guess it was a Wooper, right? Yeah. Because that they also started doing the... I forget the name they gave it, like Convergent Evolution or whatever. The not tentacle thing. So that one's different. Toadskool and Toadscruel are not regional variants in the same way. Which is annoying because who cares? It's the same fucking thing. Wiglet and Wugtrio, yep. It's so silly that they just kind of decided, oh, these aren't regional variants, they're regionally distinct similar Pokemon. It's like, what? Why? What is even the difference? Very weird, very silly. Because I was about to say, I wonder what we'll get for new forms in the new region. And I was like, oh, we didn't really do that much last time, did we? And that was after, like, at least a decent number of Galarian forms. So, I don't know. Currently averaging a little over 44 experience points per minute. Regional convergent forms are mechanically and lore-wise different in a couple ways. I mean, I think mechanically the only difference is that they might breed differently, but I thought that was already the case with regional forms too. Similar, they're not the same species as foreshadowing for Area Zero. Kind of, but isn't the... I thought the implication for the Paradox Pokemon was that they are distantly related. Hey, we got 333. Dang, I wasn't looking. Convergents don't have different stats, while regional almost always do. I guess, but that always felt like a silly thing for them to be doing in the first place. I don't know. It honestly, it just winds up feeling like I don't know. Vibes-wise, they feel exactly the same. And, like, I guess if the idea is that, they mechanically act a little bit different in these kind of sideways there, but the exact same stats as Tentacruel. Which, honestly, like, I know that they did the regional variants first, but they should be swapped. The regional variants, I feel like it makes more sense for them to have the same stats, and the convergent ones to have different ones because they're not the same Pokemon. But, alas. Whereas they got retconned kinda in DLC. Was it? I don't remember the DLC retconning that, but I could be mistaken. Because the big thing was the professor, or the AI, I guess, going to slightly unclear at minimum if it's our future and past. Oh no, we're doing dimension hopping again? I don't remember that part of it. Wishes I don't think was ever fully explained. Oh Jesus. It still bothers me that all of the 3DS games, sorry, I probably just peeked the mic, all of the 3DS games had a theme running betwixt them of essentially dimension hopping multiverse type stuff. All of them had some element of that in there, and none of them ever properly capitalized on it in like a meaningful sort of way. It's not to say they didn't do anything with it, but I think that there was room for them to do one big showstopper thing, and they never really went for it. X and Y, I don't recall doing like much with it in the first place, even referentially. Regional versions, because they always breed to the current region unless you use an Everstone, are always the same egg group as the original form. Plants and wiggle breeds of fish. Yeah, I mean, what we really are getting here is that so for stats, I feel like for stats they should have always been the way that the regional variants handled it, different stats. And for breeding, I think they should do it the same way that the convergent evolutions do, which is that they breed differently. But RS had the link cable. Yep, the link cable and the implication in the Delta episode that essentially that they could have thrown the meteor into a universe that was the original Gen 3 games, which is like wacky of a thing to introduce there. And then, yeah, Sun and Moon and the Ultras had the whole Ultra Beast and Rainbow Rocket. Yep. Rainbow Rocket coming in was kind of a big piece of that. The Ultra Space, Ultra Beast, wormhole stuff was interesting. I guess Rainbow Rocket is kind of the conclusion to it. And, like, we didn't really experience that, but, like, the descriptions I've read make it feel kind of lame as, like, a final thing. The Green Tea guys literally swapped their positions in the evolution line. That I thought was kind of cool. Sinistea, Sinistra, and the other ones. I can never remember the other ones. I thought that was kind of a cute thing. Regional forms, convergent forms, pretty distinct beyond the most cursory examination. I would argue that they are distinct. I don't know if I would say they are pretty distinct, because like if the most significant ways they're distinct are like specific stat growth and breeding. Oh, Poltegeist and Poltergeist. Yep. Thank you. Like, it's not that those are it's not that those are like unimportant things in there, but like, I don't know. Like, if you're not doing breeding, and if you're not trying to like competitively raise your Pokemon, then the most significant ways that they differ as things are probably not going to be super duper obvious. But I don't know. Critical hit. Ooh, boy, we got another one quick there. Did we cross 115? We will after this. Doop-a-doop-a-doop. Yeah, there we go. 115 fights per hour. Dang, we're getting them quick right now. 44.4444 experience per minute. got no complaints. Got no complaints about us flying through this any faster at all. All right, my hair is very quickly starting to get dumb looking. I'm gonna give it a little bit longer. I fiddle with it, and then eventually it becomes this flat mess where it shows off my big, stupid, eggy forehead. So I'll probably throw a hat on shortly. But then my head will get all warm, even though my feet are cold. And I had socks that I brought down, and I forgot to put them on. Oh, they're literally right next to me. Maybe I'll put those on in a minute. Maybe I'll do that when we're healing. Blah. Oh, whoops, yep. Let's do Hyper Fang first, because Quick Attack is going to miss far less than anything else right now. Let's do this real quick. Sarah's thinking about making some burgers. There we go. Huzzah! Yeah, delicious boigus. Be a good time. I'm trying so hard not to sniffle directly into the mic, so I apologize if any of that is coming through. All right, let's get on it. I wonder if we can get to 120 fights per hour. I feel like we have to be able to get there. We've still been climbing by enough per battle. We're not climbing super fast, but all of it is coming through. Fantastic. Perfect. Okay. I keep trying to hold down the B button as if I'm actually running at all. But I'm not. It's our secret. Okay. STRATS. Oh, man. Ooh, we got the time left down below 370 hours. I'm curious how low we can get the time overall, because my initial assessment was like in the ballpark of 400 hours. Oh, it's absolutely too long. 100%. My initial assessment of doing all the math of this was like in the ballpark of 400 hours or more. So I'm surprised that the average is that much lower than 400 in the first place. All right. And you can tell looking at it too that it's a very delicate measurement right now because of how much it drops for one battle and how fast literally the estimated time left is going up by 1.5 minutes per second. There's a whole bunch of math that is responsible for why that's jumping and falling so hard. Essentially, it's because we're so early in the process. Like, we just crossed. Damn it! I meant to point out we've crossed 10,000 experience points. We made it more than 1% of the way. But because we're at about the 1% mark, everything we do at this end has about a 100 times effect on the furthest end. So every second that we're not progressing is about 100 seconds of not progress at the end, which is why we are gaining around a minute 30, a minute 40 per second. That will become less delicate over time. And it will always be inversely proportional to how far along in the process we are. So, for example, when we get to that halfway point, every second that we spend, that time left will go up by 1 more second, because an extra second in the first half equals an extra second in the second half for averaging things out. By the time we get to the end, we will be able to sit here for... It'll be the exact opposite. When we're down to the final 10,000, we could sit here for over a minute, and the estimated time left won't even budge at all. You've thought entirely too much about this. Oh, I love silly math. Oh, we're at 116 average fights per hour. Hell yeah. I just love silly math. There's so much silly shit you can do with math in the right circumstances, but you need a really extreme case in order to be able to experiment with it in the first place. And extreme case we have. It's not often that you have an instance where you can measure, 350 hours of a task and play around with the math that involves. We're so close to 45 experience points per minute. I don't think we can make it to 50. I think that's a little too much. We would need... The way that would happen is getting a lot of level 5 Pidgeys. A lot of level 5 Pidgeys would be required for that. Hey, 45. We got it. Nice. Put together a Python script recently to figure out the best way for me to use consumables in an idle game. Nice. I've thought about doing that before for a few of those, especially when there's ones where it's like, oh, if I use this, it'll make it faster for me to do this. But the math always starts to get just complex enough that I'm like, man, I just don't even want to think it through. I'm just going to go with this. It'll be comfier this way. All right. Alrighty. Do 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 do. All right. Rattata's only going to learn 2 more moves. And it's actually not going to learn any other useful attacking moves by leveling up. It will learn Focus Energy very soon. Level 23. It's going to learn Focus Energy possibly tonight. Probably tonight. And then Super Fang. It's going to learn at level 34, which we don't want because that's proportional damage. So these are the only moves we're going to have at our disposal for the rest of this run. I don't want to risk moving our moves right now. I will move Quick Attack into the 2 slot between streams. Oops, I used Tail Whip. Whoops. And that's why. That's why we got to be more careful about it. But yeah, no, we'll move Quick Attack into the 2 slot. I would do it now, but again, if it fucks up the overlay, literally everything in the overlay will be completely useless. So I'd rather not risk that. Ba-ba-da-bow. Oh, yeah. 300 hours definitely is the lower bound here unless we hit a crazy hot streak. So, we're doing let's be generous to ourselves and say we're doing 120 fights per hour. Whoops. So that's 2 fights per minute. So every 30 seconds. The best opponent that we could run into is a level 5 Pidgey, and that'll give us 39 experience points. So let's do some math here. I'm not going to do this in my head. Here we go. So 39 experience points times 120 would be 4680 per hour off of that. Which means that if we got the best Pokemon every single time, that would be around 200 hours, I think. 213 hours is the absolute minimum. Yeah, 214, 213. It's 213 point something, but yeah, that's the absolute minimum, and that doesn't include. I guess that does include walking time because we got over 117 because we're the fights per hour is including that here. So this is not possible. I mean, if it was done with a tool, doing it as a task, you could probably get it like. I could see you maybe getting it under 200 with a task, because then you could manipulate the RNG to get a fight on every single step or something. But also, doing 200 hours of tasks sounds like actual torture. So I don't know how I feel about that. But yeah, the estimated time left is based off of our average performance. So right now we're looking at a total runtime of a little under 368 hours. Now granted, that number will drop by a bit because that first stream we did, the first, I don't know, 0.5% of the run, we had to be more cautious about our moves. We weren't one-hit killing everything. We had to heal a little more often. So our time was not as efficient. But now we're at a point where we're essentially as efficient as we're going to be, which is why we're increasing our fights per hour, we're increasing our experience per minute, and we're shrinking the estimated time left by more than it's growing. Even though it grows 1.5 minutes per second, we're knocking actually, how much will this battle drop it by? Let's see here. It's going to just get to 364 as we wrap up. Drops it by about an hour. Yeah, so each battle right now is dropping about an hour off of that. So we're doing some pretty good damage there. So we're knocking 40 seconds worth of pausing off every time we finish a battle, give or take. So I think that we'll be able to get this to under 350. It's possible we could get it to under 300 even. Probably not, but we could probably get it fairly close in the end. Because if our average experience points is 23, level 22. Right. Nope. Not happening. Alright, some more math. Alright. 23.3711 times 120. 2804-ish. Is about... An average run would be about 356 to 357 hours. So we really actually aren't chopping that much off for an average run here. So it might be in the realm of like 360 then. Which will be the longest thing that we've ever done on this channel as a single game. Have we ever? I don't think we've ever crossed 200. I think Tears of the Kingdom was like 190 hours or something. Get me back into the battle. You can't see any potential shinies. Yeah. I wish that there was a way to make that work. I actually also don't even know if Strats is shiny. I mean, the odds are against it. And oh no, because I haven't... I looked in PK Hex to get the IVs, because that determines our stats, or sorry, DVs, because that'll determine the exact stats on the side there. But, and I want to say PK Hex will show you if a Pokemon would be shiny. Even if it isn't in the game, I don't know for sure, though. Okay. Get a Pidgey. Cool. Let's start to run back here. Do 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 do. All right, well, back to it. Let's get around here for a little while. All right, we're in. Can we get up to 120 fights per hour is the real question. Is there any chance of us doing it before we hit 4 hours? Probably not. Okay. How much does that go up by after a battle here? About a quarter of a fight. Okay. We're getting very close to our limit, though. Getting very close to the point where the amount that gets lost for each battle is the same as the amount that it increases by. All right, we're almost up to 118. There will be a point, sadly, where the the numbers stop changing as much, quote unquote, as they are right now. Alright, we made it to 118. If we can get to 120, I will be very surprised if we can ever get it to 121 or above. Ooh, we've gotten pretty lucky with our fights. Our average experience is up to 23.16. 23.167. I don't know that we'll ever quite get above the actual average, because at that point we need above average luck to happen for an extended period of time. And even just that Pidgey being 23 experience brought us down. Sweet. I'm going to pull this up not on my phone. Uh, 18.3. Boom. 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 Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom was 196 hours and 21 minutes and 22 seconds. So by default, this will have to be longer than that, assuming we get all the way through it. Excuse me, I'm sniffling directly into the microphone. That's gross. Alrighty. Well, there's still plenty of time to throw more votes in for Gen 4 starters if you feel strongly about who will be playing as in Gen 4. Or starting with in Gen 4. Do, do. Up to 118 and a half. Yep. I'll be curious if we can get the total number of fights below 43,000. Because right now it's estimating it as 43,191. Now 188. But I'm curious if it will be above or below 43,000 in the end. Okay. Come on, give me more level 5 Pidgeys. Actually has an impact on future generations, unlike most, maybe all, other choices. Choice for Gen 1 actually has an impact on... If you only did this as a 24-hour stream on Pokemon Day, it would take till the 45th anniversary of I guess, of Pokemon. I was going to say of Pokemon or the D-pad. Oh, man. I am probably going to end this series with a 24-hour stream or a 12-hour stream. whenever we get to level 99, I'm probably going to end that particular stream right then and there. And then we're going to marathon the final level. Which is going to be a lot. It's not going to be as much as it might seem like. It'll be under 30,000 experience points. We've done almost 10,000 so far tonight. So not as horrible as it might sound. Being a star in Gen 1 means you can't get that as a gift from Sycamore in Gen 6. It also means... let's see. It also means, because there's other instances where you can get Gen 1 starters, too. But yes, yeah, Gen 1 starters definitely show up the most as other stuff. Final level into the whole rest of the gym challenge? Pretty much, probably, because honestly, all of the fighting for the rest of the game is going to take no fucking time at all. Literally, it's going to be steamrolling every single thing. We'll only be doing required fights at that point. But essentially, every single fight is going to go down in one hit. Hey, we got to 119. So clearly, this is the strategy I need to employ for Diamond and Pearl, so I can take on Cynthia, right? Ooh, we're about to crack 46 experience points per minute on average. Wasn't expecting to be able to do that. It's going to be tight, but I think we can do it. There we go, 46. And then back to 45. Will be becoming champ as ghost types are the ultimate roadblock. Nope, we actually have an option for that. You might not have been in here for it before, but Rattata can actually learn, I believe, 4 moves that are not normal type by TM. Bubble Beam, I think we figured out was what? Bubble Beam, Dig, Thunderbolt, also Thunder, actually, and there was one more. I forgot the 4th one, or the 5th one. Oh, actually, I can look at it right here. By TM. Oh, Toxic. Yeah, Toxic, Bubble Beam. Oh, Bubble Beam is one of them, actually. Oh, that's why I had Bubble Beam on my list, was because Bubble Beam has a higher power than Water Gun. But yeah, Toxic, Water Gun, Bubble Beam, Blizzard, Thunderbolt, Thunder, Dig, and that's it. But there are moves that Rattata will have at its disposal that we'll be able to work with. Alright. Hello, Not Cult. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to this horrible, horrible idea. This grass is bad. We gotta get out of there. We can probably get over 120 an hour. Gonna be a tight one. Gonna be a tight one. It's a lot easier when we've got Tackle PP, too. Alright. Nice, nice. Oh, yeah. Oh, I know. Also, hello, Paraffin. Hello. This is definitely the silliest fucking idea that I think I've ever come up with, and that's something that Evie trained for 12 hours today. Oh, dang. Nice, nice. Holy cow. Yeah, I don't know if I have the patience for EV training. I say as I'm planning what is essentially a 360-hour pointless, completely pointless run. Joey percent, Rattata percent, whatever you want to call it. Did you know this was going to take hundreds of hours when you started? Yes. Yes, I did. I did a lot of math going into this. My initial assumption was 400 hours. and the math is turning out to give us less than that, which is good. But yes, I did know going in that that this was going to be hundreds of hours. It is not just like 1,000,000; it is exactly 1,000,000 experience. So yeah, we got some work to do. We got a long way to go. It's gonna be an interesting ride. I just want to get that goddamn fights per hour over 120, man. You do this to the all-time Hall of Fame for Pokemon. Hey, I mean, we'll see how it goes, right? Like, also, did I just miss with Hyperfast? Oh yeah, no, that makes sense. You want to hear some secrets about Pokemon? Sure, why not? Go for it. Fire away. I am. Think about it for the rest of your life. Oh boy. Okay. All right. Let's hear it. Let's see what we got. 119 3/4. We can hit that 120. We can make it happen. Say I am nothing if not a captive audience for commentary and such right now. We're not going to hit that 120 if we keep missing with Hyper Fang. There we go, buddy. Boodle-doo-doo. Even as slow as that battle was, it didn't actually hurt our fights per hour. We're at the same spot we were after the last one, so that's good. Whoop. The custard for the purple robot. What? All right, okie dokie. Oh boy. Oh god. Can we hit that 120 is the real question. Are these lyrics? I am confused. Red End Leaf. I'm trying to remember, was the I'm trying to remember the because for Fire Red and Leaf Green, they wound up changing the protagonist to Leaf, didn't they? Away from the non-existent one, Green. Except, wait, no, actually, but then they brought Green back for Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. It's a very good question. Womp womp. Green is from the manga. Oh, yeah. That is true. Wait, oh, yeah. I actually keep meaning to check out because there's two, there were, I don't know if they still run, but there were like two main manga that were running for a while in the earliest days of Pokemon, right? Well, let's not worry too much about that. Let's not go down that particular road right now. Oh man. Bow, bow, bow. Can we get there? 119,992. Come on. Okay. I am unclear on how any of that relates on there. Hey, we got the 120. Hey. Sick. All right. That's pretty good. I'm curious how high we can actually get that here. Oh, did it say 120 even at one point? I was looking away. Oh, we got up over 500 fights, too. Hell yeah. Sick. All right. There we go. Ugh. Alrighty. Yep, I do remember that being a thing. Feel bad for that kid. They're gonna rename themselves quite a lot there. Satisfying to see in the nice. Oh, I think so. The way that would wind up happening. Whoops. I guess that would be if the number of seconds and the number of fights are an equal multiplier. Or I guess not an equal multiplier, but half. So that's going to happen a bunch. Alrighty. I think let's keep the real life stuff out of there if that is all right with you. But yeah, no, I think so. The way that would happen for an even thing there would be, yeah, if the number of fights, it may not happen with odd numbers of fights. No, it still wound up happening though. Okay. Oh, yeah, because it would be if the number of fights multiplied by 30 seconds would give you the 120 fights per hour. That's kind of neat. I didn't even think about that as being a possibility there. That should happen with every 4 fights per hour. Like every multiple of 4 fights per hour should essentially always land on the zeros. Because that would represent another 1 second. I think, right? No, hang on. I'm getting my numbers all mixed up. I have to think about it. I don't know. It's fine. Whoops. Nope. Let's get there. Alright. Okay. All right, let's. I think we should calm this down. Let's let the chat, breathe a little bit. Have a good one. Catch you around. Oh, nice crit in there. Why the hell not? Level 2 Pidgey. That's no good. Oh, we got the 120 even again. I would love to get far enough ahead with it that we're not continuously crossing 120, but no worries, Prince Dusk. It's all good. It's all good. I can't promise that my commentary is going to be incredibly insightful at this exact moment in time, but still be some nice nostalgic Game Boy sounds. Alrighty. Yeah, I mean, it would make sense because, so the way 120 means that we're averaging one fight for every 30 seconds. So no matter what the number of fights is, there's always a 30-second increment of that. So therefore, it'll always land the even 120. I was trying to think, like, if... So, like, 60 would hit every time with that as well, because that would be every minute. And, like, there's a handful of intervals in between that would also evenly hit. So, like, let's see. Because every 45 seconds, we'll say, 4 of that would be 3 minutes. So 80. So 80 is also one that every time you pass across 80, it'd be even, because that's just a multiple of 45 seconds. What would the next one be from here? Nice. Do I want focus energy? I don't think I do. I think, in fact, focus energy... Isn't focus energy broken in Gen 1 anyway? I think we're going to say no to focus energy. STRATS did not learn focus energy. I think focus energy literally does the exact opposite of what it's supposed to do. Like, it's supposed to, I think, increase your crit by 4 times. Is that what it was? But instead it cuts it by down to a quarter. I'm trying to remember. But regardless... So I guess the next one above would be something that hits every 29 seconds, which doesn't divide evenly into a thing over the course of hours. You could arguably look at 24 seconds. Not so much 25. 25 wouldn't divide evenly into an hour. 24, 5 of that is 2 minutes. So 150. So the next one that would evenly divide would be 150, which we're not going to get to. We're never going to get to 150. Oh, I mean, I guess that's a fair point. The animations could get turned off. I hadn't considered that as a possibility there. I don't know if I'll do that for tonight, just because we're already getting kind of close to when we'll wind up winding down for tonight, but that is a fair point. I should probably consider that for some of the future ones. It does mean that the battles will look a lot more boring, but it would cut down on time. That is true. Alright, but yeah, the whole challenge is just getting this guy to level 100 without going any further than Route 1. Get this down to about 5 quick attacks, and then we'll go back and heal again. It's true, there's not a lot to look at anyway, but at least there's a little something. But, yeah. Also, help your number go up for more streams if you incrementally add those efficiencies. That's true, because if we add them all at once, then we're going to hit our peak pretty quickly, and we're barely going to be incrementing off that. So it gives us a new goal each time. That should have been the poll for the next stream. Do I remove battle animations, or do I rearrange to put quick attack in slot 2? Slot 2 is going to be, I think, the smaller of the 2 changes. So maybe that one happens first. I don't know. Yeah, I think we're going to aim to try to get to level 25 tonight. We'll at least try to get there. We'll see where we get from there, but... Doink. Oh, thank you for the follow, Nutcult. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ooh, we've been doing well enough with the luck side of things. Just looking at, so estimated fights left, plus the current number of fights, we're just barely over 43k. And actually, you can see, too, our average experience is creeping closer to the expected value, the expected average value. So the expected value is just the average of, is the weighted average of all of the possible fights that we can get here. The experience multiplied by the odds of that specific encounter happening. This will make it go up too. In fact, we're already below 43k. We're at 42,983 on the expected total number of fights. This will bring it down as well. Now we're at 42,928. Cool. We're actually at a point where we could get above the expected experience if we get a little bit lucky on our encounters here. That'd be a fun way to fun with like 700 quotation marks around it. Be a fun way to wrap up the stream tonight is getting beyond the expected experience yield. Every hip streamer is saying yield these days. Everybody's all about the yield. When I was younger, my dad got into an argument, not like a serious one, but with myself and like the entire rest of his family over what the meaning of the yield on a yield sign is. Which is silly because, like, essentially every meaning of yield is, like, valid enough for that to make sense. But, like, the specific argument was... It was like, what? So what is that supposed to mean? Because, like, yield is to, like, give someone something. And we're like, what? Like, that's not... Like, that's sort of like you're giving the right of way to someone else. Like, I guess that kind of works, but, like... I don't know. It doesn't, because he kept describing it as yield me a piece of pizza. It's like that's not quite what we're doing here. It's close, but that's not really it. But yeah, he was using it in the sense of like to give as opposed to give up, like to willingly let go of. I feel like wield and yield are not placed opposite each other nearly enough. Because they are functionally opposites of each other. Wield and yield. Oh, there's another... I'm trying to remember. There's another... There we go. There's another pair of words that I can't think of right now that do that are like opposites of each other, but they are rhyming as well. And I had it in my head, and they're gone. But I don't know. I feel like wield and yield are just like perfectly set up for that. But yeah, my dad got so upset that nobody was like going along with the yield thing. And part of it was because every time we tried to get him to explain what he meant, he kept defaulting to yield me a piece of pizza, yield me a piece of pizza. And it's like, that's not a thing. Nobody says that. Stop it. Like he sounded like a fucking Seinfeld character. By just like, I'm just going to say it again, but louder and more intense, and someone's going to get it. It's like, no, that's not anything. Stop it. Oh, God. There was a similar conversation as to what the correct verb is that you do to a U-turn or a Yui. I think I fell on team hang. Like you hang a Yui, hang a U-turn. Take is a pretty one that happens, like pretty common one there as well. He went with some other verb. I don't even remember what it was. It's like the engravings on Excalibur. Wield, yield, take me up, cast me away. Oh, is that actually a thing that's part of like Arthurian legend? That is fun. Well, I'm glad that I'm far from the first to have made that observation at least. Take me up, cast me away is okay. But yeah, wield and yield. I mean, that is what wield and yield mean. To take up and to cast away. Fascinating. I wish I could remember what the other fucking things were. I'm also a big fan of what I believe they're referred to as auto-antonyms, which are words that also mean the opposite of themselves in a different definition. So splice is probably the most common one, because splice can either mean to split apart or to join together. Nowadays, you could argue that literally is an auto-antonym, because you either literally mean literally, or you figuratively mean literally, by which you mean figuratively and not literally. Cleave, yes, I was like, I know there's another one that is also a synonym for splice. Yeah, cleave, you can either cleave apart or cleave together. Inflammable is an interesting one, because that one is one where like the meaning of the term got a little bit lost. Generally speaking, yes, that one definitely works for that. It's interesting because my understanding of George Carlin had a whole bit that you have flammable, inflammable, and non-inflammable. And I believe the idea is supposed to be that something that is flammable can be set on fire, and something that is inflammable can combust. Like it can just catch fire. I don't know if that is still the case, or if common usage has kind of just blended them together completely. And then non-inflammable is... I think non-inflammable gets used for either, but it would stand to reason that non-inflammable means it can't combust, and perhaps non-flammable would mean that it can't catch fire, or can't be set on fire. Like, I'm trying to think of something that can... paper is extremely flammable. It's one of the most flammable things there is. But I would argue that it's not inflammable. Like, nothing that you do to it, shy of heating it to such a crazy degree that you're risking the air catching fire. I mean, famously, we had Fahrenheit 451. I was about to say 481. Because I think that's the temperature that paper burns. There must exist each of the combination of non-inflammatory flammable materials. Yeah. Oh, non-inflammable. Yeah. Like, there presumably would have to be something that can be set... Like, paper can be set on fire but isn't going to combust under other circumstances. There's definitely inflammable, flammable stuff. A lot of stuff that's in, like, chemical tanks that has markings on it tends to be inflammable. And that's the big, like, danger is, like, well, don't fuck with this too much or it might just burst into flames. Ooh, excuse me. Oh, an easy one would probably be, like, pure, oh, shit. I was about to say aluminum. It's not aluminum. There's a metal that catches fire when exposed to oxygen, but I think that's more of a chemical reaction than it is like a flammability thing. Did I just miss twice? Jeez. 1 in 400 chance. Inflammable, non-flammable. Yeah, that would be something that can catch fire, but can't be lit on fire. I think that would have to be more of a chemical reaction thing. Like something that is exposed to air that would cause it to burst into flames, but if you were to try to light it on fire, it wouldn't do anything. Inflammable, non-flammable seems like a very difficult combination, since you would assume that anything that can burst into flames could also be set aflame. I feel like there's got to be something, though, you know? Can we get to 121? 121! We keep climbing, baby! We keep on going. Alright. Kaboing. So based off of our progress, it's taking around 3 hours to get 10,000 experience points. The final level, the difference between level 99 and level 100 is 10,000 plus 9,900 plus 9,801 experience points. So that'd be 29,701. We'll call it 30K. So we're looking at probably a 9-hour stream for the final one. Realistically, more like 10, just because that will get exhausting, and I'll probably be slowing down as we get there. Or maybe not. Maybe I'll get invigorated by how close we are. Also, minus battle animations and stuff, that might be even faster. So let's just say 9 hours. I think 9's probably a good estimate. So, all right, that seems like a thing that can be done. Not too bad. I don't think that without some serious intervention, we're going to be wrapping this up by next February. And by serious intervention, I mean we start doing more than one of these on average per week. Better at a snack break, yeah. I will probably wind up like ordering food on that day or something. But yeah, I guess we'll have to see how things go. We're going to keep this going as best we can, baby. I had debated when Metroid is over moving this to Wednesdays just because that means that this will get interrupted less to try to get us to our finish line. I don't know. We'll see. There's also the possibility of like doing longer streams of this just to push through more. And I have debated adding, the odd extra stream whenever there's like, oh, I don't have anything to do, or like Sarah's, house sitting with her parents or something, or for her parents, and I'm working on stuff here, keeping an eye on the cats. May as well stream for a couple hours or something, Doesn't happen often, but like just as an example. Sarah was actually originally going to be doing some house sitting because her parents were going to be going on a trip that they are no longer going on. Nobody's like sick or anything. They just decided not to. But that would have been a time where that would have made sense. But all right, I don't think we're getting to 122 tonight, but I think especially with animations off later, that'll be something we can reach. How many trainer fights are mandatory, and the with glitches answer is actually just 13. It's not bad. I bet I could name a handful of them, honestly. Actually, wait, 13 doesn't make sense because that's literally the 8 gym leaders, the 4 Elite Four, and Blue as a champion. And there's definitely more than that. Because, like, you need to fight Blue and the bridge people to get to... Oh, sorry, with glitches. With glitches. That makes sense. Okay, yeah, you could glitch... Because there's, like... I think there's wall glitching stuff. But yeah, with glitches, 13, that makes sense. I thought you were saying without glitches. I'm like, that literally cannot be true. To get to Misty, Yeah, like, in order to fight Misty, you have to fight, like, 10 different people in Cerulean City. I'd be curious what the without glitches number is. I would be willing to bet it's probably in the realm of, like, 50 or 60, just as a rough guess. I have, like, no frame of reference for it, though, to be honest. Just thinking about it. I want to at least, let's see, 20 minutes. How's that? 30 per minute. Yeah, we should be able to do that. I was going to say, I want to at least get to level 24 before we hit the 5-hour mark, and that's gonna happen. Like, that'll be about, I don't know, 10 or so minutes from now. So that won't be too bad. Oh, I should stick with Hyper Fang first, because that one has more of a chance of missing. And Quick Attack, I don't have to, like, worry too much about, like, not like I have to worry in terms of getting back to home. But with Quick Attack, I think that's 100% accuracy, so I don't have to worry about missing and then getting too low and either struggling or sitting there or running away, whatever. Nice. We're slipping away from our experience goal. We got up to like 23.27-ish. We've been backsliding a bunch. It's a little less than 1% because it's 1 in 256, but the odds of it are much less than the 1 in 20-ish of tackle. Literally more than 10 times. Tackle literally has more than 10 times the odds of missing than Quick Attack. Alright. Alrighty. Yeah, it's a 1 in 256 chance. And it has to do with the way that the game is coded. They made an error in the... So the way that it works is every move has an accuracy, and it's not exactly the number that they tell you in the early one. So a thing that has a 90% accuracy is not exactly 90%. It's about 90% of 256. So it'd be around, what would that be, 230 of 256? So what they do is they say, all right, this move has 100% accuracy, which means that it should hit 255 out of 255 times. Out of essentially, so it sets the accuracy, it sets the hit at 255, and then it rolls a random number from 0 to 255. And the idea is supposed to be that if the number that's rolled is less than or equal to the hit value, the accuracy value, then you do the attack. So, all right, it has a 255. Well, everything that rolls between 0 and 255 is less than or equal to 255. The problem is they coded it wrong, and they forgot the or equals part. So what they do is they check, okay, is the number we rolled less than the accuracy, threshold? Then it hits. The problem is, if you roll a 255 is not less than 255. Therefore, 1 in 256 attempts, on average, you will miss with a thing that is supposed to be 100% accurate. The only exception in Gen 1 is Swift, which is hard-coded to completely bypass everything accuracy-wise. It literally just skips all of the steps and says, this hits. So it means that it will never miss. It's never going to have the weird glitch that makes it miss. But as a weird side effect, it also can hit during phases where your enemy is supposed to be unhittable entirely. So during these semi-invulnerable phases of Fly and Dig, when you're supposed to be completely unable to be hit, Swift will still hit. They do eventually change that. X accuracy does the same thing as Swift. Is that true? Wow. That's wild. Holy shit. I did not realize that did that back in these days. Because nowadays because they switched that to increasing accuracy by 1 stage, and nowadays I think it's 2 stages. But that's wild that it used to work like that. All right. I think we're finally ditching this couch soon. We've had it for about a decade. It has given us 10 years of incredible service, but it is time. There's like a hole that is in it on one of the cushions. Some of these cushions are just completely dead. Oh yeah, we've got a like recording studio space, and we have a couch because normally we do Let's Play videos. The streams are kind of a bonus on the side, and for the Let's Play videos that we do, it'll usually be like 2 or 3 of us on the couch. We got a chair on the side over there as well. We'll hang. We all got mics, and it's a grand old time. But we have had this couch since about 2016. Yeah, honestly, couches will last a long time if you let them. My buddy John and I got this off of, I think it was like a Facebook Marketplace situation. I don't even know if he paid for it. I think it was like a just come get this couch, somebody please situation. We made sure that it wasn't like that there was nothing gross going on and all that, and it was fine. We brought it back and we've been using it for the last 10 years. This has come with me to 2 apartments and the house that we're in now. Ugh. There we go. Jen want to believe. Jen want to believe so. I think the speed run or challenge run strat of X accuracy plus a 1-hit KO move. Oh geez. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. That's brutal. Oh, did I just miss with it? Speaking of accuracy. Because the trick with 1-hit KO moves, I guess I don't remember how they worked back in the earliest days, because nowadays you have to at least be the same level or higher. And I want to say that 1-hit KOs are 30% plus 1% for every level of difference between you. For every level you have above them. Which is hilarious because at that point, you don't need the 1-hit KO anymore. Nice, very rad. I think our I forget how big our TV is down here. I think is it a 60-inch? I don't remember. It's been a couple of years now. But it big, it does the trick. It does great for 4K stuff actually, which is pretty good. Nice. Have we crossed 122 yet? Might happen. Oh, it's definitely going to happen, yeah. This might even do it right here. I mean, we'll see. The benefit of this is I don't have to worry about copyright claims because it's... Actually, that's not true. I say that, and I realize the huge mistake of that. It is a lot easier to fight copyright claims for in-game music than it is for, like, if we listen to, like, Monster Cat or something. Though, granted, we can also get a license to just have free use of all of that, which we had debated at one point. 122, there it is. But I don't know. Part of me, it's the irony with me is that, like, I feel like a lot of people use those libraries, and I kind of just like, I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to necessarily do that, just because, like, if everybody's fucking doing it, then it just kind of blurs us in with that group a little bit. But I don't know. Going to heavy defense mons, there was a Tinglu Fisher set being run in competitive for Scarlet Violet for a while. Okay, interesting. And yeah, It's a good point. High defense Pokemon being able to be taken down like that makes a lot of sense. High defense, high special D, high hit points. Any of those, a one hit KO will, crack on through. It's a fair point. I hadn't thought about that. Blah. Getting very close to level 24 and pretty much right on cue too. I had mentioned it was pretty much exactly 10 minutes ago right now that I was saying I'll be about 10 minutes from now. Alright. Yeah, I'm a little curious how they plan to handle any Pokemon games they have in NSO, even the spin-offs, where like Stadium 2, XD, Coliseum when they have it. If it doesn't connect to Pokemon Home or any of those, I don't entirely know. Like, I feel like we're missing a huge part of how those games are meant to work there, but maybe less so with XD and Coliseum. I don't know as much about those. Stadium, though, definitely. Alright. Alright, can we do it on this one? We need a high-level Pidgey. No. Alright, so we're going to need 2 more battles here. Now this one will do it. The lowest, I believe, 22 is the fewest experience points we can get on a battle. Maybe it's 20. I think it's 22 though. This I think is 23. I think no. Level 2 Rattata will get us even less. Yeah, there's our 23. There's our level up. Not evolving today. Wow. Huh? Strats stopped evolving. You're telling me. Our Strats stopped evolving a while ago here. Ugh. Oh, man. I wish that I came into this a little bit better rested. I'm not like falling asleep or anything, but I'm definitely just kind of like, man, I'm very much looking to bed. Looking forward to bed after this. Let's see. Experience per minute. Times that, it would take another like 35, 40 minutes to get to level 25. It'll be about 2 a.m. Let me see how things go. I'm not going to make any promises on this, but we'll see. Sarah's cooking up burgers, and she's going to be up for a little bit. I mentioned before, she's making some like chocolate stuff for her dad for his birthday, and she might be up for a little bit still. And if that's the case, then I may as well get the one more level. Nice. Yeah, no, I was up, no, I guess last night wasn't too bad for getting to bed, but I wound up getting up at like 7:30 so I could get up and get my morning started before the Pokemon stream this morning, which was a mistake because it was a fine Pokemon Presents. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't terrible. It was very predictable in a lot of ways, but when I come out later today, I guess it is literally later today now, to record my Z, I'm bringing my Switch to so I can use the channel for my melodic. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, last time you were like, damn it, I forgot my Switch, and I had more trades to do. Take Shiny Scale and trade unless there's some other trigger for the evolve condition. Yeah, I was gonna say I thought there was like either a Shiny Scale or Deep Sea something or whatever, but I could not remember. Yeah, doing great. Yes, indeed. Thank you. Yeah. So right, I'm at 24. Gonna get it to... I'm about 1/700th through the insanity. Sarah says hi, and definitely made no jokes at my expense. Prism scale, here you go. Oh, I'm sure. Oh, yeah, of course. Oh, God. I can be tired grinding Rattata at a level 100 in Route 1. Exactly. Who could get tired with that? Alright, have a good one. Have a good night. Get some sleep. Enjoy. And thank you for dropping in. Yeah, I guess when we get to about 5.5 hours or so, we'll be at around 4 hours in for tonight. And that'll be right around the time we're getting to level 25. Which is so deceptive, because, like, you know, if you know anything about the if you know anything about the experience curve and all of that, then you know that level 25 is not even remotely close to a quarter of the way to level 100, even a little bit. It's literally like it's like 1.5%. If you know anything about cubes, yeah. In fact, it would literally be exactly 1/64th of the way there. Eek. Oh, my hair looks ridiculous. It's time to deploy the hat. It's time to deploy the hat. Ugh. I got a new hat. And I'm only wearing the blue one for the Rattata ones. I got a new hat because this guy, the yellow one, my favorite hat, it's starting to wear down a little bit. Like the stitching on the inside is starting to... Is there less stuff going on here? It's hard to tell. The stitching on it is starting to come undone, and I can fix that. It's not like a huge deal. I went to the store. I went to the Amazon shop that I bought this from, and they're not selling the yellow one anymore. And I intend to keep the yellow one, and I'm gonna wear the yellow one anytime other than this stream. But I got this one, and I got one that's in like kind of a cranberry. Took a turn for the word. Wow. Oh my God. But yeah, I got some other ones for like kind of casual wearing and such. And yeah, I think I'm wearing this a little too low on the... I don't know if you're supposed to wear it above the ears or on the ears. I don't know. My thought is, if it's a hat and it's lined, the idea is to keep things warm. So you're going to want to tuck as much in there as you can. It feels a little bit smaller. It looks a little goofy on me right now, actually. Something about this looks a little silly. Because by comparison... this feels comfier and feels looser. I don't entirely understand... It might just be that it's not worn in. I don't remember this one feeling quite as tight as the blue one does, though. Like, this feels a little tight. But we'll see. Alrighty. We're just barely staying at the 122 mark at the moment. Oh, all right, we're getting one more in there. All right. Cool. We're going to go heal, and I'm going to take a bite of this delicious-looking burger. Boo 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 boo. There we go. Delicious. We had 5 hours. Let's also save. Honestly, one of the funniest things about this is going to be how fast this game climbs up our list. Every now and then I'll go to the list of games page on the wiki and I'll sort by like episodes or sort by time just to see where where series are that are actively being played. It's going to be fucking silly as shit to see how fast this rockets up the list there. It's gonna be ridiculous. Because there's eventually gonna be a point where it climbs into the top, like, I don't know, 10 or so. And it's just gonna slowly muscle its way past everything. Missing a lot of tackles, man. There we go. Apologies for the quiet. Just throwing down the burger. I was super hungry, so happy to be having a bit of food. Ooh. That was odd. The decimal point got lost for a second there, so it showed up as 1200000. There are glitches I will fix in VODs. I'm not digging through a 4-hour stream to find the 1 second of time where that gets messed up. Cool, cool. Yeah, if we can manage 1.2 million fights per hour, we'll be done in no time at all, for sure. If we could do 1.2 million fights per hour, it'd be done in about 2 minutes. Alrighty, we're good. We're back. We got about 45 fights left to go before we hit level 25. So that'd be fight number 674. Just as an estimate. We'll see how close we get to that. Alright. Now, I would wager that you have 674. Yeah. I would wager you got about 25 minutes left to get your votes in for Gen 4 starter. If you got strong opinions, spend them D points. Oh, and thank you to Parafwin for the follow as well. Alright. Ooh, can we get up to 123 fights per hour? Seems like there's a chance. I'd say 123 is probably happening. Ooh, slowly, but it should be doable. Alright. Okie dokie. Come on, we can do it. We can get there. We can get there. Ooh, 122.8. Oh, now I have to sneeze super badly. Oh, God. Oh, it went away. Oh, I hate that. Oh, God, that's awful. Oh, that's brutal. I was so ready to sneeze. It cut and ran. Oh, I hate that. That's been happening to me a lot over the past like couple days. Ooh, so close. I think the next one's gonna get us. I think fight number 640 will get us over 123. Oh, come on. Maybe not now that happened, but. Yeah, just barely. Brutal. If we didn't miss with our tackle, then we would have had it. Alright. Oh, we missed again? Come on. That sucks. Oh, we got 123 even. So even that it fucked up the decimal point. It's beautiful. Come on. There we go. Nice and clean. Alright. Boom, boom, boom. Ooh, the increase per second has changed to about 66, 67 seconds since we checked in on it earlier. So now every second the estimated time left no longer is going up by about a minute and a half. It's going up by about a minute. All right. Also, we're moving fast enough that our estimated time is looking like it'd be under 350 hours. So that's pretty cool. I mean, right now it's 350 and a half, but like any more pushing would drop it below that. So that's pretty cool. Oh, come on. Ooh, very close to getting the total under 350. That'd be a pretty nice threshold to cross. Oh, literally got to 350 and 1 minute. One more quick one will get us there, though. All right. There. Nope, still no. Oh, because it's also dependent on the experience that we're getting. So a low-level one is going to have less of a positive impact there. Right. Still just barely over. Come on, give me a level 5. Give me a level 5 Pidgey. There we go. Level 3. Okay. There we go. 349, like 55 or so. Just wanted to see us get below it once. Okay. We should be able to get to level 25 before we run out of PP for stuff. I guess with quick attack being 100% accuracy, that's more or less a given. We would need a string of especially awful, like low XP encounters to mess it up from here. Like it would have to be straight up like 30 consecutive level 2 like Rattata or something. I've always gone with Rattata. I think it's supposed to be Rattata. And I was thinking about that earlier today. I'm like, why do I say Rattata instead of Rattata if that seems to be the one that the official media tends to use more often? And I think it's because, regardless of what the human characters say, I think that the Pokemon itself tends to say Rattata. And maybe that's why it's stuck in my head more. I don't know. I don't know. You know, inching closer to 124 fights per hour. Forgot the shiny mons on my team. I have 23. God damn. The emphasis on rat rather than tat. I usually emphasize the tat, I think. Yeah, I've always gone with Rattata because it reminds me. I mean, the idea is it's a play on rat-a-tat. But it seems like every human character in Pokemon and narrator and whatever says Rattata instead. Is Charbaka. No. For Ekans, he says his. He'd go Ekans. Arbok is the one that does Charbak. That whole thing. Oh, sorry, the evolved Ekans. My bad. Yes. But at the very least, Arbok is still like part of that pronunciation that it does. It's odd when a Pokemon pronounces their name essentially, but the inflection is completely different. I feel like that doesn't happen terribly often. Alright. I think we're getting there before 674. Oh, Charmander impression. Nice, nice. I've never been good at the like high-pitched stuff generally. I feel like Charmander is like moderately high-pitched. A little char. Like, I'm not putting much effort into it there, but like it definitely is kind of a pinchy, higher pitch sort of deal, right? I'm a little excited. We're gonna get there before 2 a.m., which is pretty cool. Also, that estimated time left just kind of keeps dropping. I'm a little surprised, actually. I must have done something wrong in my math earlier. I guess there's one easy way to... I guess it also involves fights per thing there, like... Because we got that 42,787. 0.887605 is our expected number of fights. Oops. So I guess if we keep increasing fights per hour, then that number is going to keep dropping. Though we're not going to be able to keep increasing that number forever. If you go to steady pace, it would go down 1 second per second. So the estimated time left, if we were at a steady pace, wouldn't go down at all. Right? Because it would be accurate the whole time if it was a linear, steady progression. If it was going down 1 second per second, that means we were doubling the initial pace, or we were moving at a pace that made the average double, so I guess tripling the pace. No, I guess it depends on the context, but estimated time left or estimated total time? Oh, I was talking estimated time left, which is the bottom left metric that we have there. Total time, if we were going steady, would... I guess that would also not move? Because the timer would go up by 1 second per second. Estimated time left would stand still. The estimated total time would... No, sorry. You're right. Estimated time left would go down by 1 second per second. Estimated total time would stand still. Yeah. Oh, we did 666. Everybody run. Everybody run. Pidgey is the devil. Oh, we're good. We're safe. All right. Level 4 Rattata. All right. Get a 32. That Rattata probably saved us from actually hitting 674. Right. It's going to be awful close. It's going to actually be quite close. It depends if we get some level 2s or level 5s at this point. All right. Cool. Ooh, still level 3, dude. It's really going to come down to if we hit a level 2, then it'll probably be 674. If we hit a level 5, then it's almost certainly going to be 673. It's going to be very close. Excuse me. Sorry. Gross. All right. The level of this will determine it. Oh my god. I think we are actually going to hit exactly 674 then. I think this is going to be less than 21 experience points. 15. Yeah, holy shit. I actually just straight up called it. That's honestly kind of crazy. Like, I was playing the averages, but still. I was honestly spitballing there, but we'll take that. There we go, level 25. No, you're not. Hey, we got up over 48 experience per minute. I don't know if we got there before. Let's go ahead and get ourselves back here. Whoop. A little rest. There we go. 5:25:28 is going to be where that freezes at for the VOD. Not bad though. Not bad. We got ourselves another 10 levels. We got our estimated total time to below 348 hours, so that's something. I am glad we were able to have a much longer one this time. This stream was more than double the length of our first one. Our first one we just couldn't do a ton of. This one we actually got a lot more out of. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. And the hope is that most of these streams are going to be this length or longer, so we're going to keep pushing on there. We've made it past our first 5 hours. We got to level 25. We've gotten a quarter of our levels. Not a quarter of our experience points. We're at 1.56% of our experience points that we're going to need. We got a long way to go, but we're doing okay. It's nice to get this thing moving. And at this point, I think we can call it on the poll. So for Gen 4, our starter will be Turtwig, the grass turtle. Each of these streams is going to have a poll for it. I'm either going to predetermine the question and spin the gen, or I might even prep a second wheel to determine the kind of question, because a lot of these are going to be repeated ones across different generations. Like, we're going to have to do a starter for each of these. We're going to have to do version for each of these. There's also going to be a set of questions for nicknames. What is our naming scheme going to be for a bunch of these? I'll probably throw some suggestions in, and then other people can add their own ideas. And whoever wants to go for it. I think my one thing would be, my one rule for that would probably be no repeats after one is decided. Like if someone says food, then another one can't also be food. At least not directly. I just want to make sure that each of them has like a different kind of flair to them. But cool. All right. Well, I'm going to get out of here. Hope you guys had a good time with this. This actually went by pretty well. It didn't feel, too sluggish or anything like that. I think we got a lot done. And, yeah. So, cool. Well, I will see you guys later. And have a good one. And, bye.